if you give them an introduction into like who you are, how long you're a vegan, and yeah, what type of vegan diet were you eating as well? If you could just give us a whole overview, because I know there's a lot of stuff that you can share on this. So
Yeah, it's like all right. I guess I can really go in depth with you, Danny, because like let's say with the previous interview that I had been with, you've kind of done the exact same thing and even done your own protocols, and I even watched your videos to enhance my personal knowledge.
yeah,
So yeah. So I was vegan for about 5.5, 6 years. I practiced with veganism and vegetarianism for quite a while, but it wasn't until I officially did my 40-day water fast. Funny, after my 40-day water fast, my intuition told me to go carnivore, which I did do, but I did that for about a month or so, put on a lot of muscle, about 16 kilos.
and and if you give people like, how was your physique before? Like, how much did you weigh so people get a clear picture on that while she was on, like, because you did a fruitarian diet, is that correct? Mostly?
Yeah, but actually before before I done veganism, I was actually originally carnivore. I was doing keto.
Wow.
Yeah, I was doing the steak and eggs diet. Yeah, man.
I thought you meant now what you've been doing. Okay, so that's what got confused. I didn't know
No,
that. That's interesting. So
sorry.
yeah, carry
Yeah,
on.
so I was technically carnivore, then vegan for 5 to 6 years. Then now I'm carnivore. But
Yeah.
within that fruitarian, I was fruitarian for 5 years. That was a solid like that was some pretty intense stuff, and there's a lot of cool stories to go on with that. One of the first how I began with it. So I moved from a small town called Mildura, Victoria, into Adelaide, South Australia, and it just so happened that Freely Banana Girl lived there. But like I didn't even know about her or anything. So if you guys are into law of attraction, synchronicity, it was just kind of that
Yeah.
perfect. Like, oh, okay, so this is where the Fruitarians hang out. But I was so cold all the time, and like I was literally shivering on a bed 24/7 watching like Freely videos. And then as I was like swiping through stuff, I was hearing all about this stuff about about Thailand and about Indonesia and Southeast Asia. So I was just like, yeah, that's where I'm going. That's what I'm going to be doing. But within all of this, like the adventures and everything, I actually originally was traveling with a German backpacker, and he was like, "Oh, Dylan, we're going to make full circle around Australia, and I want you to come with me. It'll be fun, yeah. You know, we sell, we buy, we do this. You know, everything is cool, man." And I was just like, "Yeah, dude, like this is exactly what I would love to manifest. It's exactly what my life is about. Let's do this." And I hadn't paid rent at this house for like 2 months, and he was like, funny, his name was Dylan, and he was just a sheer reflection of myself, but just like a more insecure, girlier version of myself. And I was quite buff at that point because I had just come from a carnivore, keto, Rowan Atkins,
Yeah.
Rowan Atkins, you know what I mean? Anyway, steak and eggs diet. So I was quite large, and I pretty much lived off mostly just my muscle mass for years because I was nearly 80. I was 78 kilos. I'm the same weight I am now, actually. The same weight I am now.
And this
So
was when you was carnivore, you were 78 kilos.
originally,
Yeah.
yes. And
And
then
and when did you, just to get a rough time frame, what year did you do the carnivore keto style diet for, and how long?
So I only did it for about a month and a half, and I did it around 2012, 2013. That's when I did my 40-day water fast, went carnivore, did that for about a month, and I was watching Ralph Smart. I said his
Yeah.
name wrong in the
Yeah.
Ralph Smart, and he was always going on about the 7-day vegan challenge, and I
Yeah.
was like, mate, you're challenging me? And no, I
Yeah.
wasn't like that, but I was. It just felt very in tune and in line with my current belief system when I wanted to expand my spiritual mindset.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, and it's funny because my physical body was well there. I had years of gym. I came fourth in Australian gymnastics within the
Oh
classes that I
wow.
was doing. I've done 7 years of Taekwondo. I was doing jiu-jitsu, boxing. I've done Muay Thai. I've done Krav Maga, wrestling. So I'm very physically there and always in. And my family run Taekwondo dojos over the bridge in Baronga, South Australia, New South Wales. So it's in my blood, in my family, in the hereditary line, in the spiritual mindset. You know, it's there in me. And when I was vegan, I still continued to these practices, but I watched myself literally deteriorate from, you know, when you get a good work going on and you can feel in your muscles and your back from moving stuff, and you feel that tingling, it's ready to eat or it's ready to kind of repair and do its thing. But I would get so tingly and it's like, oh, whoa, like this is intense. Like, and eventually I'd start getting sweaty and sweaty and like sweatier and sweatier. And it smelled nice, like kind of nice. Like, I know I could eat it, but like it's the mind of how malnourished of what you do goes into a crazy thing. Like, I'll talk about that later, but as I was going malnourished and going through these things, not that I ever stopped doing Taekwondo and martial arts, but I just shriveled down to such a point during my travels because, like I said, when I was with this German backpacker, it's mirrored right now, so I'll do it this way. As we're going up the east coast of Australia, I convinced my friend, the German backpacker, to go through Fruitarian. And he did it. And he was all like, my mom cooks the sausages, the eggs. She's like, you cannot have this. This does not work. You cannot. Anyway, I was like, no, man, Dr. Robert Morse, brother. Come on, have some of this stuff. And, you know, we were just like, well, man, it kind of makes sense. And we're getting into iridology. And, man, just like my eyes did change. And it wasn't the lighting. It wasn't anything. And as you go further into it, you kind of figure out that when your body loses its fat within the body, the eyes do change as well.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
Your whole physical vessel changes without its correct vitamins, minerals, hormones in good balance. So I was in the mindset that as this was happening, that I was going through some top tier detox, like
which seems to be the common thing. It's like I say, just detox until you got rid of your hormones, until you're dead. Just keep going and going and going. And I'm sure that you've seen that with many people and with yourself, that they're just like, you get so obsessed with detoxification. Would you say that you got very obsessed with pursuing this like purist like approach with detoxification and thinking every issue was connected to detoxification?
100%. One of the biggest things that made me believe that I was purely detoxing was that lemon tree. If you guys heard in the previous interview, that I just picked. I was near Sydney in Australia, which is around the midway point, lower midway, and there was this lemon tree. So I walked up to this lemon tree, man, and it was just like lemons everywhere and kilos and kilos. So I like picked them, and literally there were like 4, 5, 6 kilos of lemons. And anyway, I was just like, Dr. Robert Morse, man, what he says is the astringency pulls. It's the astringency that's going to get everything out, man. The more astringent water, you know, like melons, berries, grapes, boy, we're taking it a step further and going into the lime dimension up in here, and lemons and limes. So anyway, so I remember just peeling them, man. And I remember as I was peeling, my fingernails, like under my fingernails were burning. And I was like, yeah, they're pretty astringent, man. So I like peeled them, man. And my friends like sitting in the driver's seat looking at me like, oh, bro, like, no. Like, oh, I cannot do that, man. Like, no, I cannot. And so I started just like yeah, man. I ate like, I think 1 kilo before this happened, like 1.5 kilos or something. But in my temples, I felt this, and I was just like, I'm ascending. Like, I'm ascending. This is the sheer detox, my brother. But dude, it must have been like a sugar rush combined with like the acidity. you know, like
Yeah,
cities.
and the plant toxins and stuff like that. Like, yeah,
Dude, I had no idea if the tree was sprayed or anything, man. Like,
yeah.
it was just a tree sitting in a field, so it was just like, so I just like, yeah, munged out on that, and it was just like, I just remember feeling like all like I I thought I was gonna die, like, but I knew spirit, love, life, like everything's okay, everything's fine, just continue on
Yeah.
with life. And I thought to myself, I'm never gonna do that again. I did it again, but anyway, like, um, continuing on, I was like, I'm never gonna eat bananas because, like, who would want to eat bananas? Like, I come from the south of Australia, so we always import them from uh dude, we don't even get our bananas from Australia. Well, now we do, but we used to not get them from
Oh, wow.
Australia. Yeah, anyway, so as I was traveling up, I was like, I'm not going to eat bananas. And I was just like, how am I going to supply my mango habit? Like, how am I going to do this? And it was just with, again, mirror reflection, divine synchronicity and timing. I was like, I'm just going to eat mangoes for the whole 10-year detoxification, blah, 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 all this. And then came this guy, John Stearns.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he started posting on all the forums and everything, and he's like, yo man, like, check me out, I'm gonna be only eating mangoes 5 months, check me out. And you just fucking you, you're just
Okay.
watching deteriorate, man. And I was just like, I was already 3 months in and watching myself deteriorate, so beautiful reflection to watch. I was like, I'm gonna jump out of that bandwagon since we're the only two doing it right now, you can do it on your own. So then, as going through the processes of Australia, like traveling and camping, there wasn't really anything crazy cool that happened apart from like the adventures that were fun. But in the sense of what happened when I was Fruitarian, I was watching myself become malnourished. My bones becoming brittle. There were
Wow.
so many pictures that I had. I remember I was sitting out at the ocean. I was sitting like this, holding a mango, and I seen my bone here, and it was like a ball poked out, and I had never seen that on someone before. Like, I actually never seen that on
Yeah.
someone, and I was just like, oh, cool, like, and my veins were
Yeah.
so everywhere, and I was just
Very
like,
vascular.
I yeah, and I felt this something telling me I look like a crackle, and then something telling me I look like an androgynous god, that I should continue and thrive, and that I'm
Oh,
beautiful,
wow.
and that everything's love and light, and that you shouldn't worry about aesthetics, or you shouldn't worry about looks or vanity or anything. So I was like, well, that made me feel better. So I continued with that. Um, I had severe bulimia, like, brother, I cannot even explain
Wow.
the sense of like, oh my, like my teeth.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
I
Yeah. Very affected by it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, which so
um
many people that eat the fruit-based diet, man, their teeth go downhill like crazy. Some people have amazing genetics and can get away with it, and a lot of people will look at them and go, "Oh, well, they've been okay on it for years," but most people don't get away with that.
yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth. I'm Aboriginal and German, and I thought I had really good genetics. It's like, yeah, I've got somewhat good genetics to build muscle and to repair and to, to to do this. But then some people have that like 6 foot like sheer like eyebrows and all, and it's just like, damn, like, okay, so they got the good teeth as well. And people like, in a sense, Austin, which you had currently made a video about, Raw Bliss 95.
Yeah, and
Like,
you've
man,
got a lot. You hung
I've
around with
got a
him.
man. I lived with him.
Oh,
I
wow.
lived. I lived with him. Like, we were mess. I can actually jump forward because I had a Cairns experience. I was living in. I'll say this really quickly. I was living in Cairns. Fruitarian dream. Pretty much, I was coaching, doing massage. I was also pretty much just living a fruitarian dream. Also, there was some fruitarian people that started like a fruitarian business called Fruities, which I'll give a shout out to because no, never mind. But like, they're nice people, but
Yeah,
like, you're advocating such things, and it's just like,
that are harming
no.
people. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I've got a huge story with them because that guy was actually a really famous dude at the time who met up with like Harvey. What's his name
Through
again? The guy,
rider. Yeah,
Dilian Rider. Yeah, met up with Harvey. Harvey's ex. Also, you know, there's the Fruitarian scene, man,
Yeah.
the Fruitarian scene.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And if I could just bring you back quickly, what negative effects how did it affect your overall gum health and teeth health? Did you start to get a lot of decay, a lot of cavities? And yeah, so
yeah, dude.
if we stay on track with, if you could just mention all the other different health issues and symptoms you had, and then we can get on to the rest of the stories, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's good, actually. Good. I'm a bit fasted at the moment, so thank you. With my teeth, one of the first things that I noticed was my gums were shrinking. I used to have full, broad, just strong-looking
Oh,
teeth, and except for one here that's a bit
yeah,
crooked, which I knocked when I was younger. But
yeah.
in saying that, they were very strong, handsome-looking teeth, and the gums came completely down. And I remember it got down. See where the new pink is? That's all
Yeah.
new gum since Carnivore.
Oh,
Anything below that, you could see where it was getting pink.
wow. So your body was eating itself up in every single way, not just your muscle mass and your fat, like, and your hormones, just everything.
Yeah,
Wow.
I can actually stick my fingernail under, like, between the gum, and if I go like that, I can pull it off because it's just hanging there. It hasn't started to grow behind the tooth and then wrap around
Ah,
yet.
okay.
Yeah,
Whoa.
but it's there, so it's
Yeah.
really amazing how the body and the DNA just like we've got a code in our body, and it just tells like meat, protein, repair, this,
Yeah.
there.
And did you find you had any issues with like decay or cavities or anything like this, or discoloring of the teeth?
Huge, huge discoloring, huge decay. I had when I this is a crazy story. When I was living in Singapore. Um, one of my friends that I was with, we were sitting down, and I was just in so much pain, and I could feel my tooth just. It was so dull, and it felt like, and I was just. I'm like, nah, I've got to rip this out. Like, I can't go to a doctor or anything in
Yeah.
Singapore. I haven't got travel insurance. Like, I'm living like Austin at the moment.
Ah,
Like,
okay.
literally, the food prices, this, that, looking for the cheapest market and
Yeah.
everything. Like, I taught him that shit. It's weird, man. It's weird. Anyway, so um I decided to grab some pliers, some like scepter pliers, and I put it in.
Oh,
I didn't know the tooth is that long. Like it's
yeah.
about. I didn't realize. I thought it'd probably be about the size of my fingernail or something like that. I just logic at that moment did not exist in
No.
certain physical aspects. Um, I had a very strong spiritual mindset of how the world worked and how love, vibration,
Yeah.
and being in the moment, because I always manifested awesome stuff. It's just my focus was on those things.
Yeah.
Anyway, in saying that, I was pulling my tooth, and I shattered my tooth inside my mouth, and I remember just exploding, and then there was teeth inside my gums and everything, and like it was
Oh.
blood everywhere, and I was just cleaning myself up, and then I took a photo of, like, grabbed my phone and then took a photo, and there was a watermelon seed rotted that I had no idea how long it sat inside, like the tooth, and
Wow.
it was oh my god, it was disgusting, man. And when I took it out and
Yeah.
the smell of it was just like you've been there for, I don't know, over a year or something, man. Like over.
Yeah.
And the clarity mindset feeling when I took it out was like life was brought back to me, and I was just like, I've not felt this since I was before Fruitarian. What's going on? And I started questioning myself, and then like that's when Fruitarianism was like, okay, I'm on the best diet in the world, yet my teeth are decaying. I brush my teeth daily. I do oil pulls.
Yeah.
I was doing my own personal treatments and everything, and I just didn't understand how they were decaying, and they how they lasted this long. To be honest,
Yeah,
you,
and as so many people, as you know, say that it's just detox symptoms again. Like the teeth just needed to go. They're bad. This is what the Dr. Morse people say time and time again. It's like it's absolutely crazy.
it is. I messaged Hippie Island. I messaged like all these other fruitarians, and they were saying, "Don't worry, it's just detox. You're pulling out the stuff." And I was like, "This is not like I know what good teeth feel like, and like I'm very happy." I was out of a lot of things in my life, I was very happy with my teeth. And it's just funny how synchronicity, the universe is just like, you don't need ego, my brother. You don't need vanity.
Yeah. So would you say this was where you started to have a bit of a wake-up call that the diet wasn't working for you? And could you give people, like, how much do you say you weighed at your peak before you switched to the Fruitarian diet, and how low did you go down to, just for people to realize how skinny and weak and frail you became?
I tried to get to 80 before all of this. I tried to get to 82 kilos, and I got to about 80 kilos. I know I was over 80 kilos, but then I just stopped weighing myself because blah blah blah. Anyway, when I became Fruitarian, watched myself decline. The peak of myself, I stopped weighing myself for about 2 months before I went to hospital, and I was under 28 kilos because it was just under the 28 kilo mark. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to weigh myself. That's a real, I've never, yeah.
Wow, that sounds like a very similar thing that what Raw Bliss Austin is doing. I've made many response videos on, just becoming, like, as I keep calling him, not to be horrible, but it's in real life Jack Skeleton. It's just like,
You're not horrible. No, it's the sheer truth. I will tell you something that made me, when you put that up and you said Jack Skeleton, I was legit walking down Kuranda rainforest in the middle of the night with with a sack full of like beans and other things that I was going to give to one of my vegan friends because he was starting a taco shop. Anyway, I was going, and I just had a sarong on, and a lady was walking down in the middle of the night, and she just screamed and screamed and screamed, and she was literally like, like, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? And she's like, oh, I thought you were a skeleton. And oh my God, like, I thought she was a ghost, like, but I just kind of like, oh my God, when she said that to me, my heart just went like into my stomach, and it was like reality, just like,
wow.
Yeah. And then I went into my friend, and he had like one of those long body mirrors you could stand in, and I stood up and I turned sideways, and it's like my I had no core muscle. Like, I stood up and it literally would go inward, and it was just like, and I thought I was like, because I would flex in the mirror and like, oh yeah, my detox is going well. Not like I thought I was muscly. Like, I remember what it was like to be muscly, but I was like, yeah, my detox. Like, look at all that, my lymphatic system, and like, oh, and
it's just. Would you say there's a lot of like cognitive dissonance, and even though you thought you was in tune with your body, you were not actually in tune with your body, and it was just a lot of dogmatic programming
100%.
ideologies?
Dude, yeah, it was 100% dogmatic, 100% brainwashing, cultivating lies that are like finely scripted that get you in every area. If you're doing this, this, or this, don't worry, they've got like these points added as well, like the in between. It's like every little section from like the berries or this or the ripeness or the astringency. It's like it's literally had hundreds of years of dogmatic stuff just like put into it to like what to like, I don't know, how many people did it get to, like, I don't know, a couple thousand, like, but it's like, I'll talk about that later. But anyway, with the deterioration, man, one of the things, my neck, like, I'll relax my neck. My neck, man, got to here. I remember I could put my neck around and I could almost touch the back of my hand with my neck, like that. Yeah, and like I'd go like that, and then I could almost touch the back of it, and I was like,
wow.
When I was living in a rain,
crazy.
It is, man, it is. And let's rewind back a bit, actually, because when I went to the Bali, like Indonesia, the Fruitarian Southeast Asia dream, I started doing that like everyone else did. And after about 2 years of traveling, I met Austin. And Austin was in Bali, and I was like, bro, I'm in Singapore. Let me go back to Bali. I'll meet you. Like, you can come stay at my place. Like, we'll do everything. Anyway, we ended up just couch surfing the whole time. He didn't want to like pay for anything or do anything.
Yeah,
And it was,
that's what I've said about Raw Bliss in my videos. I just started to realize that he is living like a person that's from a third world country, has hardly any money, and he's so stingy. And it's like, man, you're a Western person that has the potential to earn so much money, and it's like, come on, man, like you need to be earning more so you can eat more and actually build up, rather than just disappear into an abyss at some point.
dude, you know what he told me? I don't know if he just said this because we create our reality, and depending on our belief system and how much we believe in it and the focus on it, it creates. And I don't know if I was just a part of the projection of when he was like rapid fire saying it. But
Yeah,
he told me that he had worked at a sandwich shop back in Washington, and he worked there for a prolonged period of time and saved up around 10,000 USD, and that is what is funding his travels. And
yeah.
that was back in 2017. So I don't know how you could spend $10,000 in like, man, I taught him the $300 a month thing. I'm being legit. So if he's saying like, not if I seen him say like, you can survive off living $300 a month in Southeast Asia, it's just like, well, legit, you can only do it in Bali, and you can only do it at a certain time of the year, and you can. It's like yeah, I live there, so I was able to help tourists or fruitarians. Like, oh, if you come at this time of the year from like September to August, blah blah blah, fruitarian season, and just I would help people out. And Austin and I, man, like he's a character, brother. He's a character, legit. Like he actually is a really nice, funny dude, but
Yeah, he
he's
seems
just
it.
so warped into the mindset, man. And in that way, it allows it to overcome his personality. Because when we first met, dude, he hated Dr. Robert Morse. Like I remember him saying to me, he's like, do you like Dr. Robert Morse? I'm like, oh yeah, man. Like I don't mind Dr. He's a shrill. He's like, man, he's just a money mate. He's like, notice he doesn't eat the fruit, bro. He's like, you notice he's always fat? He's like, man, you notice that? Earth flat Earth. And I was just like, yeah, true, man. Yeah. So then, like, he's like, man, anyway, like, you just got to not do the thing, man. There's other people. Have you seen Casey? And I was like, yeah, you're like, vegetable place, man. And I was like, he's like, no, I like Casey, man, but
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. Yeah. So, yes, interesting. So you met a lot of other people that are very similar. Would you say a lot of these people sort of validated your deterioration as well because they were going through a very similar thing? So it became
dude,
normal to you?
man, I was God to them at a certain point because I was going breatharian. I had the mindset, the power, I was just like, fruit, liquidarian, let me take a step further and rewrite this. You don't go
Yeah, been there.
fruitarian, liquidarian, breatharian, and all that. It's just like, man, I nearly did 3 full months of breatharianism. By the end of that, man, my body stopped healing. I was that skinny. I was like not working, sorry. I was helping schools and teaching English and just helping clean up, do like just general help. Anyway, the kids just looked. It was crazy. It was crazy, man. Because I look back at the photos and it's just like I'm a skinny, frail skeleton. Like you can see my bones and everything, the lines of my bones and stuff. And these kids are like, they're not plump or fat or anything. They're kind of malnourished themselves, but they look way better than me. And
Wow.
yeah, man, yeah.
Wow. So
Uh,
yeah. What other negative effects did you find? Did you get any negative effects with your skin, your digestion, your mental health, your cognitive function, your hair, or anything else?
man, I used to have hair down to about here. And then just before I was vegan, I got it cut to about my jaw, and then it grew to about here. It hasn't grown any longer since I went vegan. Like it actually has. It's grown a bit longer now that I'm carnivore. So I must have done a lot of damage to myself or something, man, because I've only just realistically started feeling good in about June this year.
Oh wow.
And
And when did you go back to like this full carnivore diet?
I went bone, blood, everything, man. Carnivore from day dot New Year's, man. It was synchronicity. Like, yeah, we're in the hospital 2 days before, and then it's just like everything in my mind and body and soul is telling me to eat meat. Then I messaged Cole Robinson, and then Cole was just like, fucking, well, he didn't do it like that, to be honest. He was actually just like, bro, you really, he's like, eat some meat. He's like, you need to eat like 150 grams of like raw liver, and you need to eat like 1 to 1.5 kilos of raw meat. And I just like went straight to it, you know, and just done it, man.
And did you find a lot of your symptoms started to go away that you had inducing you on the fruitarian diet? And yeah, was there, and one sec, I'll just go back. And yeah, was there any other symptoms or issues that you had going on? Were they the main things? And was you able to still sustain doing all these martial practices and exercise practices that you've been doing before?
Man, there's actually so much to talk about this, actually. There's so many symptoms and issues, and I'm glad, I keep branching off,
It's
and then
okay.
you keep coming. It's good because this is a really good time to talk about it, because I'm at a well mindset that I can actually correlate these things perfectly. And teeth were one thing, muscle deterioration, fat gain was legit impossible, hair growth, hair deterioration. My hair, it didn't really deteriorate so damagingly, but I do a lot to my hair, so I would always apply oils or spend time in the sun or not use hot water or cold water and massages and my own treatments. I treat my hair. And my throat, I remember my throat a lot of the time would start to close up and feel so weak. I could feel my organs start to feel really weak. I got anal prolapse, man, from the Fruitarian. Yeah, and I remember I was squatting on the toilet and I just felt like a poo come out, and then I was just like, yeah, okay, like, you know, not thinking anything, and then I went back in. I was like. And then I squeezed again and it went out, and it legit just felt like a poo, man. It just felt like I was taking a shit and then taking a poo and then sucking the poo back in. And then I put my hand down and I just felt this soft, squishy, and it had like bumps and lumps on it, man. Like not hard rocks, but just like boils or swells, and like I was just like instantly when I pushed it, it was numb, and then I felt something like at the top of my head just go like, and I was like, So I remember just like tucking it back in, and then I'm like, I'm gonna fast for like I don't know, 3-5 days or something, so I can just heal this. So I ended up doing the fast, and it kind of done something. Like it didn't repair the muscle so much or the tissues or anything. It kind of just put things back in place and like held it there. And so when I would go use the toilet, it would come out like a little bit, not all the way. And not until I went carnivore is when. So these are like personal things that I actually never told anyone, that I was dealing with, like anal prolapse. My erections, man, I was celibate for like 3.5 years. And the reason why I became celibate was not only because the dogmatic mindset, but I just couldn't get this thing up, man. I just couldn't get it up.
And it obviously messed up your hormones in the process. So
yeah, dude. And I was in Coranda, Queensland, and I remember I was scrolling through something on Facebook, and then like a picture of like a picture of a woman in a bikini was shown, and I thought to myself, like, I haven't masturbated in a while, and I haven't put my focus into a woman or a relationship. I've been very focused on food and this spiritual idea, and I thought to myself, what is the point of life if we don't procreate? Not that's the whole thing of sex,
for sure,
but it's a part of it, you know, like. And I thought to myself, I haven't been in a relationship for many years, and my last relationship I was with this girl, Tully, and it was, man, I was vegan at that point, and she watched me go through like and we've known each other for 13 years, and we still talk now, but we didn't talk through the whole time when I was vegan, man, because the stuff you say and do when you're vegan, and the idea that you're better than anyone that eats meat, even though Paul. anyway, I was like, I haven't, done that in a while. I'll give it a go, man. Oh my God, man. I remember when the blood started to go in there again. It felt like a rusty, like needle that had like a thin hole in it and the hole had like rusty things, and it was being
Wow.
hydraulically pressed and breaking off the little rusty bits inside of it. And I remember like my brain and like this like everything just kind of like curled in on itself, and then I was just like, this is not good. And I was like, but I want to ejaculate just so I can see what this is.
Yeah.
What's the outcome? Man, it was almost like it wasn't powder, but it was legit like froth. It was just froth.
Oh, whoa.
And as soon as that happened, I was like, okay, I need to add more fat to my diet. Like I'm gonna start eating
Uh,
avocados and durian, and because I fully understood
yeah.
how to.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. With because you're saying about the fats, could I ask you a bit more on that? So, when you doing a fruitarian diet, was you doing like a no sort of over fruitarian diet for many years? So you was pretty much just eating high carb fruits and almost like no fat whatsoever.
No fat for pretty much the first like 3 years, pretty much. It was yeah. It was
Yeah.
I remember the first time I had an avocado, I felt like I was on drugs and I was grounded, and that like
Oh, wow.
it was weird, man, because I ate it and I was just like everything went like and then I could hear people talk instead of just people talking, and I was like, like, oh yeah, man, like, yeah, God, spirit, whoa, man, whoa, have some of my heart energy, and like,
Wow,
I
so
could
it's
hear,
like you were finally getting the fats that you'd lacked for so long, so it was really nourishing you and yeah, definitely helping
yeah,
you.
and you know what I said, man, I ain't gonna have that toxicity in me. I ain't gonna be slowed down. But what's closer than this? Fasting. What's closer? What's the next closest thing to
Wow.
that sugar rush feeling? Except I didn't call it a sugar rush at that time.
Yeah.
What's close to that? Fasting, because you're eating your own body fat. It's just
Oh,
like
wow.
so I stopped eating avocados, man. I was like, I'm not gonna have that.
Wow,
Not in my life.
even though you got some amazing benefits from it, it seems
Oh
like you
my
did what I did, which was like you pretty much demonized all other foods, even like raw fruit-based fatty foods.
Yes, straight up, man, straight up. And because Dr. Robert Morse told this little boy that overt fats ain't gonna help him detox. So I was just
Yeah.
like, yeah, man. Um, it even got to an extent, man, where I just stopped eating the fiber, man, and I just started chewing the fiber and then spitting it out. And it was because I couldn't digest the fiber, man. It was just like I had this loose, flappy little thing that would come out the end of me, and it would just like
Wow.
I had to massage myself to get the stools out and everything. Or this is how I got into urine therapy. I won't get into that, but that's
Yeah.
how I got into urine
Yeah.
therapy, and it
Yeah.
did help me. So after all of that, with having anal prolapse and those symptoms, um, when I was in Indonesia, I got into a motorcycle accident because someone had stolen my phone, and it was such a anyway. I left my mobile phone on my scooter. It had like a little pocket where you could just sit your phone and like GPS and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I left it there for a quick sec so I could jump off, grab some fruit, and then jump back on. And I turned around and I don't know why, but like I turned around, didn't grab my phone, and then I decided to have a meal with my friend out the back of the shop. So I decided to do that. Anyway, went back to go get my intuition was like, you don't have a phone anymore. And I was just like, oh, okay. So I checked my bike and I was like, there was no phone. And I walked up to the lady and I was like, and then Melly has Ponsel and she's just like, Tidak. And she pulls out a credit card and she's like, apa itu? And it's like, Tidak. Like, no, that's not what I'm looking for. I said phone. I'm looking for a phone. Like, I speak Indonesian. I've lived here for, a year now. Like, it's like, I buy fruit off you every day. Like, why do you treat me like this? Like, why are you helping a bro? Why? Anyway,
Yeah.
so I had another phone. I checked on Google Maps, and I was watching it live, like doing its
Oh
thing.
wow, wow, the sole phone, yeah.
So I jumped on my bike and I just like smashed it down the road. I was just like, oh, like there were like 70 kilometers in like these little streets, man. Like jump and dodging around, and I was thinking like this is like some movie James Bond stuff. Like I'm 100% getting my phone back. Like I was like I'm 100% getting my phone back because of all the cool tricks I was doing. Like, and then the universe was like a bird would like go, ah! And then it's just like I would hear it as like turn left, and I'll go, and then like a car would like, ooh, and I'll dodge it, and I was like, yes, I was having fun. And then next thing you know, this old man pulled out of his car, of his bike, man, and I just smashed straight into him at 70 kilometers, man. And I flew off the bike, and the bike shattered, his bike shattered, and I slid across the road, and he did as well. He snapped his arm completely, and then I didn't like. I came off pretty scot free, man. I had a few scratches and grazes. The universe, like
Yeah.
I don't believe in karma, but I believe that we manifest our feelings and
Yeah, yeah,
moments and
yeah.
our thoughts. So I didn't hold any negative things against it, or that I was a bad person, or vice versa, or anything. So anyway, these ladies picked us up, put us down, and then cleaned us up, and he was like ruined. So they took him to the hospital, and anyway, they picked up my bike, and all they did was have to kind of knock back the wheel and like adjust a couple of things, which I've done a lot of mechanics at myself. But
Yeah.
anyway, we kind of just put it back together, and then I rode home, and then I didn't get my phone back. But it was just after that, I realized why that happened is because I didn't heal after that, man. Like I had these grazes and these bruises,
Oh
and
wow.
I just did not heal. I was like, I'll just fast, man. I'll just fast for like a week and I'll heal. But then I was like, my mind was like, eat, 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 and I was like, all right, I'll eat some durian. And I ate a heap, like a lot of durian, man. Like you know when Austin says that he's eaten like 5,000
That is
calories of
nothing.
durian. Dude, man, you know what it's like to eat durian. You know what it's
Yeah,
like.
I know. Yeah.
Like, and you're like, your mind boggled like on the sixth durian or something that's like montong this big, and you,
Yeah.
little loco, little loco.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, I ate durian and I did not heal. Man, I'm being legit. I did not heal, and it was just like. I started pussing at the scratches and scabs, and like it started like spreading and getting bigger, and it started getting water tension, like edema type swelling. And so I was like, all right, I'll fast. So it was a, oh my God, it was a
Just like
horror
back and
treatment.
forth. Yeah.
It was, man, a horror treatment of like a little bit of healing from fasting, and then a lot of sugar and infection, and then back and forth, back and forth. And it's slowly after like 6 months, man, like
Oh.
done its thing, and like it was just like a soft bit of skin that you could probably stick your nail in and peel, and then like it just pop. And I like it's healed now, but I've just got a big scar on like my leg where it is, and even on my knees, man, where they hit the road and stuff. Um, so I don't really know how Austin. I do know how Austin had healed his toe when he broke it in Indonesia. It's obviously because his body, what he took his nutrition from his fat, from his organs, from his
Yeah.
bones, from anything that to put it back together. And I realized that the more I damaged myself, I wasn't healing. And
Wow. So
so
your body was just getting to a point where it was just breaking down more and more and more. You're becoming more deficient, more malnourished, and everything just started to fall apart. And I guess the universe was trying to tell you, like, look, there's something going on. Like,
yeah.
how much do we need to do to you to wake up?
Dude,
Yeah.
I was even like you were saying, what sort of did it stop me from doing Taekwondo or the martial arts and everything? Yeah, it did to a point, because in Queensland, I was standing in the shower, and I normally like lift my leg above my head and kind of just give it a bit of a stretch like that, and say like that's the bum line and everything, and that's where the leg. I went like that, and I felt like a like and oh man, I dropped to the ground, and I just remember it was like it was just like a really bad horror movie, man. I was just laying on the floor with like all the water and like everything on my face, and I was just like in the most excruciating pain I'd ever felt. And it was just, this was like a week before I went carnivore. So yeah, but
Wow.
that was
So,
one of the biggest things. Couldn't walk.
yeah, and how's your brain functioning cognitive wise? How's you emotionally as well?
Dude, I'm really thankful and grateful that all of this was,
Yeah.
the foundation was meditation and love and light. So there were moments that one of my friends, Sarah Cutting, so if you ever watch this, I love you very much and I'm so very sorry. But I went full Australian on her, man. The C's, the F's, the
Yeah.
U's, the everything, and I just went off at her because I didn't have enough money for mangoes and she gave me $20, and I was like, how am I meant to get a week's worth of food with $20? Like, she's giving me money.
So you started to become quite aggy towards people and quite, would you say, like
Yeah.
emotionally unstable?
Oh man, I was not emotionally stable at all, to be honest. A lo- the amount of friends that had helped me during stints or moments. Anyway, I'll get. There's so much to talk about, man.
Yeah.
5 years is a long time, man.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, for
and
sure.
it's crazy because I was watching a lot of your stuff, dude. And not that I ever like disliked you or anything. I always like felt your vibe and thought you were really cool, and like I wanted to meet you and get to know you, and it manifested it, man.
Yeah.
Which is cool as. So that's really cool for me, man, because I looked up to you a lot, not in the sense of the Fruitarian, but you had a very open mindset. It was very
Yeah.
inspiring, and it was very fun, loving, caring, and you had a very country mindset. Like, I think, yeah, one of my mates said he grew up with you in the same town as you. And he actually is my
Okay.
mate. And yeah, he said, yeah, he went to school with you. And it's like, so that's why, man, you just grew up in like a little town in that bottom end of uh, you know what I mean, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, dude. So that really helped me and inspired me a lot because I was watching a lot of videos about parasites and everything, and then I got onto your video, and I never got to a detrimental point of where I was just like crushed to a point where I was not able to recover, except for when my kidney shut down,
Oh,
and
wow.
that's much further during it. But we're almost getting to the point, man, like after the CANS experience, all the symptoms, all the problems that I had, like the muscle deterioration, teeth, my eyesight, brain fog, mental clarity was completely gone. I would have to, all the time, man. Like, how often did you meditate, dude, on when you were vegan? Like, you would have to do it so often, like all day, every day. Your life became like meditation in a
Oh, well,
sense, man.
just in general, just having to do so many different practices to be able to function and try and feel the best, because it was like I found the diet, as you were finding as well, that I had to do so many things to be able to function. But once I switched to a carnivore diet like you, I don't need any supplements. I don't need a lot of the other things anymore. It just falls away because it's
It
like
literally,
it's like trying to put a band-aid on something it's like trying to fix something that isn't fixable. It's like actually you just need to change it.
that's a really good way to put it. Exactly. Exactly. You couldn't have said it better, man. And that's uh what I was getting to, man, because it was like there's so many things, man. Like my nails were deteriorating. I was getting like these little things on my fingers where like all my skin was ripping apart. My nails wouldn't grow. My tongue and teeth would constantly hurt. They felt like a cat's tongue, like it was sandy and like hurting. All my teeth were legit almost, excuse me, my teeth were almost glass, man. I could stick my, like, do that behind it and see my fingernail behind my teeth. And it's just, I remember going like, and I remember just feeling like the crunches and the chips and everything. And then I would slide my finger along it and it would just be like dust and like wet, like calcium, dusty things. And it's like, oh man. And it was,
So yeah, so it sounds like, I'm not going to mention the word because YouTube don't like it, but the big C, a lot of people that get this health issue that go through chemotherapy, you sound like you're in that type of situation. And I would have thought a lot of people that are outsiders probably thought the same as well.
dude, man, you know what's funny? Very funny. I had about 4 clients with that, and I met them from all over the world, from Indonesia, Thailand, Australia. Well, 2 from Australia, 1 from Indonesia, and 1 from Thailand. And those people with them, man, they looked like me, they sounded like me, they acted like me, but 3 of them passed away. But each of them that said to me before they passed away were things that were very particular, man. And it was, they held such resonancy of destruction and anger within them that it was a good reflection to show what I held within myself. But also at the same time, it was not only an inner emotional reflection, but a physical reflection, because your vibe attracts your tribe. I was attracting the like-minded, the like people, the like sayings and everything. And it's crazy because you get into a mindset where, because you're in pain 24/7, you you pray for anything that's not. And but you're so lost in this dogmatic view, it's just break that dogmatic view. And man, the first time I actually ate meat again was actually like
Can I stop you there 1 sec? So what actually made you finally get to the point of making a shift? Because I think you said a few things happened about a week up to switching to a carnivorous diet.
yeah, dude. There's actually more before that, like the actual first time I actually ate meat before I went carnivore, whilst I was still vegan and like my intuition.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was in Indonesia, and I was riding my bike, and there was like a license plate, and it was 555. And at that direct moment, like, I thought, should I eat meat? And it said 555. So I went out, man, and I spent a week binging on every Indonesian meat stall thing. And within a week, man, I put on like somewhat a relaxed amount of muscle mass, like looked a bit toned and a bit more healthier. Anyway, for some reason in my mind, it didn't make the connection, and it told me that not told me. I thought that I had just surpassed all these like godly things and blah blah blah, and I don't need meat or blah blah blah. I just need happiness in life, and because I was out doing what made me happy instead of restricting myself, that I was able to put on weight, that I was able to feel more mentally better. But the food there, man, it's all GMO and like sprayed and it's not good, man. Like, I didn't feel the clarity I felt when I went back to Australia and ate meat. But in saying that, I didn't heal even with those sorts of things, man, like properly, because it was during this, I probably, I know it wasn't it. But during those stints, man, of when I was eating the meat and everything, I just remember my infections just pussing up, man, with so much pus, and I'd go like down under, and it would just like, and the scabs, man, would roll over, and I could push the scabs like it was like an inner blanket or something. Like, I'd go, and it would just all the pus, and that's when I was fasting, blah blah blah.
So
when I got back,
you carry on, keep going.
Yeah, so when I got back to Australia, man, after that, because I got robbed in Thailand by
So when you first tried the meat, the first time you tried it, you said you weren't getting like the best quality type of meat, and it was all like GMO stuff and that. Like how long prior to you actually gave up fruitarianism fully did you first try some meat?
Yeah, well, let's say 2 years after that, man, because after that I was just like I honestly thought that it was a spiritual mindset. Then 2 years after that, a week, so let's go up to where my kidney shut down. So it was about the 20th of December, 2018. Wait, what's New Year's? 31st. 31st is New Year's Eve. So it was about the 28th, 29th that I got in there. And they called my parents. They did all the tests, everything, called my parents, and they said that I had refeed syndrome. So because my kidney had shut down, when I refed, my body wasn't able to absorb its nutrition. So it dumped the nutrition within the body. It wasn't able to excrete it. So that's when I got edema, and my body was legit filling up, like from my toes to up, the more I ate or drank, as long as it involved sugar, or as long as if it was not carnivore. And my intuition, man, I took a photo of this, told me to go downstairs and to go have a cigarette. There will be someone out there who will have a cigarette, and go join him. So I went down, joined him with a cigarette, and I looked over to the right, and it said 0 carb keto. So I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna fast for 2 days. Just like dry fast for 2 days, excrete this liquid whilst I'm in a hospital because I'm in a safe place. And then they told me I was gonna die pretty much, and they said I could have anything I wanted, any food, any drink. I could go, man, I could legit walk down to the hospital and go anywhere. I legit went for a trot like down the road and like had a mix with my mates. Like it was like it was crazy. I was in hospital, man. They let me do anything. And my parents were in the bottom of Australia, and I was in the very tip top of Australia. So they said I had like 2 or 3 days, and my parents couldn't get there in 2 or 3 days unless they flew. And yeah, there was just heaps of stuff going on at the time, and my father couldn't make it at that point. Anyway, so went down. The universe said 0 carb keto. Went back upstairs, told them I was going to fast for 2 days, and they accepted that. They said, yeah, that's cool. And then when they asked what I wanted to eat, I said I just want chicken and butter, and they thought I meant like the Indian dish, butter chicken. I'm like, no, just straight up go to your butchers and get a chicken, and like go get like a block of butter. So they did the best they could, and they went out to whatever, and they got like a roasted chicken and like, yeah, just a block of butter. And I just ate that. And oh my
wow.
God, when I ate it, I was like, my consciousness shift has not changed from fasting, but I am stronger.
Wow.
I'm stronger.
Yeah. So after eating fruit for pretty much around 5 years, you, just like me, you noticed significant improvement straight away from the first animal food you eating. And what actually, and was this the point you had to get to where your kidneys failed and you had to go to hospital and get these tests to make you finally wake up and have this shift?
Oh man, my body wasn't healing. My mind was like, it was like a rattle gun, man. It was just, it was 24/7, and I couldn't meditate. Like I would meditate, and then it's just telling me to eat. It's just like, so everything was about food. My life, my dreams. I had dreams of eating chicken or eating stuff. I had dreams of like joining the elite and drinking blood, and like yeah, man, I had all these like really crazy dreams of like being famous, drinking blood, eating raw meat, and like doing all these things and blah 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 blah. And it was just like, I thought they were just like, oh, you know, Illuminati getting in on my mind because I'm all skinny and frail. You know, I need to spiritually protect myself. What are you doing to me? And yeah, man, it was just, think of like in the sense of resonancy, we resonate with stuff. I watched, you know, things about Illuminati elite when I was younger, and I resonate with that sort of stuff. I come from an Aboriginal background, so we ate a lot. We were pretty much a meat-based diet family my whole life. So it was very, my dad, when he first heard that I was going vegan, like when I told him, he was just like, we don't do that, you know, like what do you want about, like we're Aboriginal, you know, like what do you mean, Dylan? You're only like 4 generations away from being out in the bush. Like, what do you mean, brother? Like, and it's just like, no, Dad. Like, time to change, man. There's a skyscraper and like windows, you know, and it's door handles and stuff. Like, we use door handles now. Anyway, so out of all of that, man, like you said, you found it such a significant, very fasted right now, significant change when you ate your first animal product, and the mindset within it, the feeling that you get, the clarity, the groundedness, the like, I cried, man. I don't know if you cried, but
I got so emotional.
Oh,
like so
dude.
Emotional.
How do you like? It's whoa, man. Like it's crazy, isn't it? Because you're such an in tuned, spiritual, loving, universal person. To feel this way of not feeling what your belief aligns with is such a different thing. And then to finally feel it, like the quiet, the calm, everything's relaxed.
Yeah, I can sense it straight away. It's just like, I want to see if it's similar to my experience. Since it's just like this inner peace and calmness and feeling so grounded and so content and so connected and so alive, and just like the amount of gratitude and appreciation you have is just like, whoa, like, oh my God.
Literally, man. Yeah, that is so well like explained. Yes, exactly. And you get that, like, you live like that when you're on carnivore or on a high meat diet. You really, really do. And I'm carnivore myself, and my partner is, well, she's carnivore, but she eats fruit.
Yeah.
But the thing is, in saying that, her herself is amazing of her shifts and changes. And like you, Danny, like, man, I keep looking at your shoulders, man. I just your shoulders are like these like rocket jack like staunch things, man. They look so cool. They're so cool, and your traps are so filled in, man. Now you look like, oh my God, man. And looking at you, like when I was messaging you and like we're having back and forth conversations,
Fruitarians and stuff.
yeah, and everything. And then when I went carnivore and I messaged you, I'm like, man, you're such a huge influencer. Like everyone loves you, man. Like,
oh yeah, and I think it's something that's really, you just mentioned it. I think it'd be good to mention. Sorry to interrupt you, but
no, you're fine.
When Dylan started switching to a carnivore-based diet, people were contacting me saying, "You need to help this vegan. He's not thriving. You need to help him." Because I was helping certain vegans, trying to help them survive on this diet that no one should be on.
Yeah.
And I did try to offer him help, and he at the time wasn't interested, which is understandable. And he kept saying to me, "You need to do this." And I was like, it didn't make any sense to me at the time. I knew about the carnivore-based diet. I wasn't shut off to it because I was actually coaching a lot of clients on a keto and carnivore diet. Yet me, due to the animals mostly, I didn't want to do it and so forth. But it's very interesting. Like, he goes on this journey with it, gets these amazing benefits, like I said, and then look, now I'm there as well. It's like now you can fully understand it, because you can hear from people their stories, but you don't understand it until you actually experience it. And I think that's probably what you experienced, that like you might think that the vegan diet is the best diet, but like once you actually start trying the animal food, you realize actually this is a diet that is actually nourishing me and giving me everything that I need.
Dude, I was considering going back to vegan when you messaged me, man, because like, yeah, man, I was looking at you and the way you were talking to me, because I was like, it's a brain fog and hazy and like blah 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 blah, saying all these things, and you're like, well, if you do this or this or this, you'll be able to do this, and like it all made sense, man. It was like you've got the vegan thing on tap, like on point, man. So you know what you're doing. So it was kind of like I could, man.
So almost, yeah.
Yeah, but then Luke Miller, I was on the phone to him actually at the time I was messaging you, and I was like, because I was traveling at the time and I was walking through a park, and Luke was like, bro, he's like, that, like, we're carnivores, man. He's like, let's do this, let's keep it rolling, let's keep it going. And I'm like, nah, man, like, yeah, because he obviously haven't seen your videos, felt your vibe, knew who you were, blah blah blah. And I was like, anyway, so yeah, that's when I was like, I'll let it go. And then I remember I was doing a live stream one time eating meat, and then I seen you popped up on the live, and I was just like, Danny, man, all right, yeah, I'm gonna eat meat, man. You gotta do it, you gotta do it. Like, come on, man, please, like, yeah, because man, I just knew. I honestly know, because like, if I had the ability and the power, such as like yourself or other YouTubers, and had the audiences you've built through years and years of doing these things, man, I would obviously advocate what I'm doing now. I'm already doing it, but obviously you guys have such an awesome audience, an awesome fan base that interact back and forth, and you go out and meet these people over years and years of traveling, man. And it's shown me, out of all the influencers and stuff like you, Frank Tofano, Cole Robinson, Snake Died, Bobby's perspective, like, you all have certain grounds that you've covered, and it's like those are your fields that I've realized. And being an outside perspective of that, because you guys are in a community that's in a bigger community, that's in the YouTube community, it's really cool to see how fine line detailed you guys have taken on a certain role or character. And it's very good to inspire from, because you can just jump on YouTube and watch each of you guys for each individual points and opinions of things, and mash it all together and create like a supernova but you're doing the same thing, and then they're doing the same thing. We all just get better within each other, and everything just keeps getting better. And when like, I lost where I was going, man.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I can get us on something else. That's fine. So yeah, what was all of the benefits that you started to notice, and how long did it start you to get? How long did it take you on this carnivore-based diet to start to fully recover, where you start to function optimally? So you started to get benefits quickly, but it didn't resolve. Obviously, everything overnight. Certain things can be resolved very quickly. I know from my experience, some take longer.
Yeah, that's good because I was actually just about to get to that because I was talking to you on the park with Luke Miller as well. So I got home, man, and perfectly in line. Got home and my back tooth was feeling like really weak and sore, and I was just like, I'm gonna go and treat myself, man. I haven't had anything plant-based in forever. So I went out and bought some like keto chocolate, man, and like with this cacao and like cacao butter. It was
And
like
how
90.
long was this? And how long was this after you tried? So when you switched from fruitarian to carnivore, how long was you on carnivore? And then when? Yeah, what was the time length of that until you then had the keto vegan thing?
About 2.5, January, February. So 2 months. I was strict carnivore for 2 months,
Yeah.
and I went and had this keto chocolate, man, and I put it in my mouth, and I just took a bite, and then I felt it crunch and crunch and crunch, and I was like, that's weird. So I pulled it out, and it was just my tooth in it, man. My
Wow.
tooth just. I didn't feel any pain. It was just broken off in chocolate. Like, my tummy, my heart. Anyway, I showed Luke, and I'm like, man, like, and then it's like, took a deep breath, and he's like, now it's serious, man. You got to get revenge against the vegans, brother. You got to get revenge, man. He's like, that's your body, that's your tooth, man. Look at the chocolate, look at it. And I was like, he was convincing me, man. But my higher self was saying to me, like, don't let the ego get involved in this one. Just flow, just keep going. It happens for a reason. Everything does. Like the best situation will happen because of this.
Yeah.
Anyway, so sorry.
And would you? Yeah. So you was on the carnivore diet, but then there was something in you that maybe wanted to make veganism work. So then you thought about doing it. You tried one thing, it messed you up. And would you say it was like it wasn't necessarily the easiest switch to make due to all the programming you had and emotional attachment and maybe identity around the diet that you've been eating previously?
Yeah, like, dude, I love it. I really still do love animals. Like, I do love animals, but I
Yeah. Yeah.
understand and I have to, and you accept it.
Yeah.
You don't have to you don't have to love it, but you can accept it. And anyway, so the idea that I was one with the universe did not feel complete till I ate animals, and that's the truth. Not until I felt the animal inside of me, I was like, Mother Nature, Mother Earth. Now I can understand where it comes from and what happens. When you eat fruit, like, the way I explained this to Austin was like, when you eat from the highest of trees, you feel the highest in a sense. Eat from a high coconut tree, you're going to feel high. Eat from a low coconut tree, you're going to feel still high, but like not as high as the high coconut tree. So eat from a plant root, you're going to feel that low thing. Eat an animal, and you like, I never said like animals are deaf and this and that and blah 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 and dogma animals, because I had lots of friends that ate animals and they were very loving and happy. So there was no reason to put negativity upon them. But
Yeah.
yeah, so once you eat animals, it's like it's the lowest of vibration. Think of the colors that resides within us. Like everything is in like a spectrum of vibrancy and frequencies, and if we want to go into chakras or this or that. So um that's where the whole love, life, light, fruit, everything, not saying like we invented blah 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 or anything. There was well way before that. But then we just got so in depth into like the colors of things and how it resonates with blue chakra, sky color, this, that, everything, red base strength of like dragon fruit. And that's where he's getting the ideal mindset that we can build from dragon fruit. And that's where I got the mindset of all of these sugar rush feelings, man, and just losing yourself in. Oh man, when you tap back into it and you think about it, and you think about all the moments that you hurt your family or your friends or your loved ones, or you said certain things, or you just did things that were in line with your current with that previous belief system, but not in line with your current belief system, and you feel not in the sense embarrassed about it or cringy, but it's just kind of like you don't regret it, but you just kind of wish that you could have did
Yeah.
something, you know, man. Because even when you were doing those moments, you were aware that you could have done something different. You were always
Yeah.
given like a dual path, and it's yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's just how far you can go down the rabbit hole.
Truly, yeah.
Yeah, it's it's
And then
crazy.
so
Like, just yeah, how people like us. I've never been someone that's been in a cult following type of thing, but to get into this sort of religious cultish type of thing, where I just got so brainwashed like yourself, and it just messed me up so much. When that's cost me thousands of dollars for dental work as well. It's like it's just. Oh, it's just, man, it's really sad. We had to get our bodies to a
yeah,
point where we're
dude.
breaking it down so much.
And like, what about like your relationships and stuff? Like when you were in a relationship, like you and your partner, or the feelings you would
Oh,
feel. Like, I wasn't in a relationship. I didn't have a girlfriend or like a wife or anything at those times. Like, I have a partner now, but during when I was vegan, I didn't have it within me to have a partner. And when I seen someone like yourself or other people having partners, I didn't understand how you could mentally still do that. Like,
oh
how,
wow.
like, honestly, man, how was it still possible for you to still grasp a relationship and to continue on with a vegan lifestyle and coach people to still be an advocation of the world in love, but still help people to lift weights, to calisthenics, to go out jogging every day, to eat every day, to check all the packages, to restaurants and everything, man, but also still have a partner in your life and do the same for her. It's, you know what I mean, man? It's a big
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, it's
There's a
Raw Bliss is in the comments all of a sudden. I just seen. Yeah, he's a very interesting person. So yeah, so obviously your body weight started to go up. What is the current weight you are at now? What were the full benefits that you've noticed since making this dietary switch?
the benefits that I have. Well, I'm 78 kilos at the moment, and the benefits that I have, they're phenomenal. They're still going, like, the benefits. Just sorry, it sounded like Austin then. They're still anyway. So like muscle growth, mental clarity, strength, teeth regeneration, body regeneration. Like, I'm literally dry fasted for like, what did I break my fast at? Like, what time is it now? It's 12:25 in Australia right now, and I haven't had anything since well, about 8 o'clock yesterday. So 8 was when I went to bed. So then since 4 o'clock yesterday, I haven't had any liquid since 4 o'clock
So
yesterday.
you still continue doing the fasting practices whilst on the carnivore diet consistently, correct?
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
And
because I know so many people will say the reason why people didn't thrive on specific vegan diets was due to all the extreme fasting they did. But look at your physique now. You've gained so much
oh
weight,
yeah,
and it's obviously not making you waste away because you're getting finally all of the protein you need, the cholesterol, the amino acids, like the fatty acids, everything. But yeah,
exactly.
what would you say to people that say that type of thing? They just blame the fasting for it.
No, when people say I didn't do veganism right, I watched Dr. Robert Morse. No, no,
Yeah.
but like, I was a well experimented person. I didn't just go straight to fruitarianism. I did the whole everything, and the reason why I was so aware of it and unadaptive to the vegan foods is because of how often I fasted. So, meaning my body would reset to its natural self and wanting the natural animal products of what it's consistently created from to rebuild itself, rather than having plants or those anti-nutrients or plants to go within your body that it cannot assimilate from. So when I would fast and then refeed with cooked vegan food or anything that was not raw, I would feel it. So then I would continue to fast again, get it out of my system, tap into ketosis, then get into my spiritual mindset, meditate, seek what the next best thing is. And that's when Fruitarianism came on, because it was vegan. You're not vegan, and well, it's the most easiest to digest. Then came on liquidarian, then came on breatharian, and it all came from one ideology of veganism, to not harm, to not harm.
Yeah.
So take steps back, and what are we simply created from? Meat, animals, electricity, bacteria, water. Like it's simply, that's what we're made out of, and when we feed ourselves that, we thrive truly.
Yes, it sounds like you're finally getting the building blocks so you wouldn't actually just deteriorate from the fasting, because you were refeeding with foods that could actually give you everything that you needed to actually function the best and for your organs to be the best possible and have the most optimal body weight. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that. Yes.
Yeah. And what other
100.
benefits? And what other benefits did you notice?
Women love me. No, but I'll be honest, man. Like,
No,
dude,
I know. Yeah, for sure.
dude, how is it, like, the vibe you give off? You're a beast. You're an animal, man. You're an animal. Like, you've tapped into that. Like, whew, it's like
So it's,
you just
yeah,
go in there
so
and
you
like
notice it's where it just starts to make. Yeah.
you
Oh,
can
sorry,
feel, man.
I
We're
interrupted you there.
meant. No, you're fine. But we're meant to be attractive. We're meant to have glowing skin. We're meant to have broad, popped shoulders. We're meant to look really nice. And when you just get into carnivore or a high meat-based diet, you just tap into that, and it's like anything that is on a frequency that is of not looks up, because you're riding so high in such an awesome, stable frequency. And when something or someone or a situation or a person looks up to that, it's like they're all like, oh, you're the best. Like, you're the best. Like, look at your muscles, look at your
Yeah.
hair, look at your skin, look at your eyes.
Well, and
And they,
and your overall energy as well just changes, like on a metaphysical way. It's
it
very
does.
profound.
Oh my God, it does. It really does. And when you're in that vibe, it's just like I have a partner myself, and we, like, I love her very much, but we play with ourselves and our love and our light and our feeling. Not saying that we're in a polygamy relationship, but if someone thinks we're attractive, not in the sense that we're gonna flirtate and build that vibe and frequency, we have our contracts, we have our creation, we have our standpoints in love and light, and we can just express ourselves in a different way. Like, that person finds we're attractive, we might just, hey, like
Yeah.
look at them and just give them a smile or something, and
Yeah.
it, and they're like, oh shit, yeah, like, oh, like, but
Yes. So would you say that it just started to make you just become more of a person when you're using fully embodying like the man within yourself?
100%, 100%. Veganism, not that it helped me tap into the femininity side of things, but it did help me understand the female mind a lot more, because I didn't have any testosterone. Spent most of
Yeah.
my travels with girls. Man, I was celibate. I was like sharing beds with girls and like really beautiful women, and I was just like laying there and like giving like chest rubs and tickles and massages, and we're just like talking about like fruit. It's just
Yeah, I
like,
know that one.
anyway,
Yeah.
now that I'm carnivore, they want to talk about the meat.
Yeah.
They want to talk about the meat.
Yeah.
And anyway, but you have this groundedness within you that you can just talk to anyone or anything, or do anything, anyone or anything. You can do anything,
Yeah.
but you
Yeah.
really can. And it's like, but even you have that knowing that it's like, okay, like, I may not be able to lift a car right now, but if I put the effort in, the strength, the willingness, the mindset, I can lift a car, and whatever. You don't have to put the time in, but you will do it. You will get it done.
It's because you finally have that life force inside of you that's just like warm,
It
like
is. It is. And man, when I lay down, after a good day, I've done worked out, like had a good feed and everything, and then I lay down, I literally just feel my head like going like, whoa, 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 and it's just like I feel as though I'm emitting my own binaural beats, and it's
yeah.
just like, it's cool.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Wow,
cool,
that's
because
really cool.
yeah, because I just lay down, and I just because I've been carnivore for nearly a year now. So what
Okay.
is it? We're in November, yeah. So 11 months, and yeah, it's like I don't know if anyone else gets this, because a lot of people aren't very open with what they feel, think about, or what to speak about. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
like when I lay down, a lot of the time I just feel like this feeling that's like my head gets really soft and I feel really comfortable, and I kind of feel like I'm hugging like my mum's hugging me when I'm in bed or
Oh yeah.
something. Yeah.
Like
And
completely rooted in your root chakra, completely
yeah,
grounded.
yeah.
Just like, yeah,
You know I know you know what I mean,
I
man.
know.
I can feel it. Yeah, you just feel so good, man. You just go to bed, or you have
Yeah,
good thoughts before you go to bed. And how
yeah.
much does it make manifesting easier? Like,
Oh,
because life
Uh,
is good.
yeah. And would you say that it makes it easier for your mind to be more optimistic, more positive? You're able to handle life more. You're more emotionally balanced than that.
100%. My for an example, my mother had her uterus removed. My father had returned from his situation wherever he was and came back. I was attacked by someone and had like a huge police thing in courts and blah blah blah, which I haven't mentioned. If no one needs to
Yeah.
hear about that, but like then my youngest, my little brother, ended up with the C word and is now
Oh
um
wow. Yeah.
yeah, going through the whole stereotypical Western treatment.
Chemotherapy. Yeah.
Everything, man, everything. And watching my little best friend, man, my brother, no labels or anything, but watching someone I very much love and care about go through this, it's you got to drop off. You got to not think about it, because we create our reality with our thoughts and our mind and everything. So you get it, man. And when you're on carnivore, you can. Nothing
Yeah.
matters apart from yourself, your happiness. And the thing is, we create our reality. So how perfectly in line does that go? It's anything that does not resonate
Yeah.
with you. You're not just going to go like spaz about it and lose your mind about things. You're
Yeah.
going to.
Yeah.
Does it mean anything to you? Yes, no, no, drop it off. Yes, what does it mean? Like you go just
Yeah.
simple basics, and if you want to get advanced and technical, we have the ability to do so if we choose to.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing. And yeah, what you're saying as well, it's like you just start to become more physically attractive to the opposite sex, which obviously that's not just the main that's not the
no
reason
the
why we
main.
do these things, but it's like it's all about the survival of the fittest. It's all about procreation stuff, whether we want to procreate or not. And it's like you look at so many of these fruitarians like yourself when you're on it and myself, and it just like, why would girls be that interested in us? And like, we wouldn't be able to create the healthiest babies possible. We wouldn't be able to, like, if we was out in nature, we aren't going to survive that well compared to like where we're at now at all. We're just going to get eaten by animals. And it's like, we have the,
Literally,
yeah,
yeah.
it's
And no,
like,
but it is, Danny, because like 100%, man. Like I'm being honest. Like you look at Raw Bliss. Like you like,
yeah,
you know what I mean. Look at me and you. Look at other
yeah,
fruitarians and vegans and other stuff. It's like often you're my friend, so I can talk shit about you if I want. Like so,
yeah,
like man, you're skinny as man. Like if we're walking down the street, two women look at us, like obviously, man. Like
yeah,
you know what I mean. Like it's it is because you become a peacock. You do. You just
yeah,
naturally start to look good. Like you just I don't know, fix
yeah.
up your hair or something, and
You're just radiating more in every single way possible because you have that life force within you.
you
It's
do.
just
You do.
like,
You just feel
yeah,
so good about yourself, and like you're healthy, you're attractive, you're eating the best. Like, well, I'm just gonna say you are eating the best. You're eating yourself. Like we're all about like consuming ourselves or consumption and in new forms or new ways, right? And like you have gone back to the original source, which is fasting and refeeding, and in a more caveman styled way. I'm not saying that you have to, you know what I mean, man? You've got this down packed. We've got this down packed. We know exactly what it is, and it's not until you put yourself into the mind state of it and actually eat meat that you feel this.
yeah. Yeah, and it's so good that you was able to make the switch. And when you was going through this whole transition, did you have anyone close around you that was watching you go through this whole switch? Did people in your reality start to notice the changes within you as well?
Yes, and they all became jealous. So it was kind of the opposite of what I thought. I'm like, oh, everyone's going to be like, whoa, Dylan, you traveled the world, you did this, you've come back, and now you're eating meat again. You know, it was like, and now you're healthier and stronger. Like, please tell me something, or tell me about your travels, or it's like. But then I talk to people, and they're like, hey, it's like that's it. That's as far as it goes generally. And if I ever mention anything about my travels, my life, my veganism, or anything like, or carnivore, or anything, it's just currently within the town that I'm in, I reside on a higher frequency, and I'm not saying it in a way that is detrimental to someone's life or ego or this or that, but Mildura is such as a relaxed, loving not coastal, but inland river
Yeah.
vibe. You know, it's just relaxed, and I'm very high frequency. I'm a hunter. Like my last name's Hunt. Got Hunt tattooed on me, boy.
Yeah.
So um, it's hard to talk to people, and it's hard to meet people, and there wasn't really anyone there for me during these points of, apart from random people at random points, because everyone had an idea and everyone had an opinion of what I should do and how I should eat. And when I just listened to myself just told me to eat what I felt like at the moment. Like one day it might have been like a little bit of kidney and a heart, it might have been like beef, you know what I mean? It was all carnivore, but selected things. And then people were saying, you need to eat rice, you need to eat this, you need to keep your sugars up. Like, where are you going? I had already understood how carnivore worked, and I already understand how the body works with just the vitamins, nutrients, minerals, and body absorption. And I already knew that before I went vegan. So I went into veganism very open-minded. You know what I mean? Very open-minded. So it's like, you understand that if you're not getting all your macros, micros, or even like just even essentials and stuff like that, then you can supplement, or you can seek out certain fruits or vegetables that may have these things. And but that's like, you know, man, you spend like an extra like week sourcing that and then it doesn't work, and then you just go back to your basics, which for me was watermelon and mango. And then with carnivore, man, back to basics is just like, it's just meat, man, and you feel so good. The butter, man, do you eat butter?
I eat ghee because I can't get like raw butter. I want raw butter if I'm going to eat it. But yeah, I eat grass-fed ghee.
I understand. Yeah. It's hard. Like, I don't eat 100% raw. Like, I eat my meat raw, and I get milk raw. Eggs raw.
Yeah, could you let people know the details on what you actually eat in your carnivore style? Because I know a lot of people do it differently. Do you eat some cooked, some raw, and so on?
So, out of the near year that I've been carnivore, I've found my own personal preferences. What I like to do is, I've got two main methods of cooking. One is out on a barbecue. I chuck in some wood blocks under it. I spark them up, let them cook like let the wood cook for about 5-10 minutes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Then I turn the flames off, and I let the wood smoke. Then I pop the hood, the bonnet, or whatever you call it, of the barbecue. I slap my meat in. I close it. I let it sit for 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, depending on the heat and how much smoke is coming out. Flip it, do my thing, get what areas I want, and then that's my smoked meal. But if I would like something just a bit more simple, I've got a cast iron pan, and what I do is I get some butter. I put the cast iron pan on the settings on my friend's thing. I'll say medium. I'll just say medium to high heat, and put it to that. I generally put some butter on and let the butter sizzle there for about like 5-6 seconds or something, so it gets a good amount of butter. Take the butter off, and I salt my meat before I cook it. So I don't cook it all the way through. What I do is I salt my meat, flip it each side, salt, and then let the butter warm up. So it's kind of like, imagine like simulating a flame and do that. Then you slap on it and do it, let it make that magic noise. And then like you flip it again, like after about 10 seconds to 30 seconds, let it like make that magic noise again. Like it speaks to you. And as soon as it starts and not wanting to, like, you know, you flip it and put on the fat, roll it on the fat, and you just got like a light sear around the sides.
Okay. Yeah.
And that was perfectly, man, because you've only just got the flavor of the butter, the salt, and the cookness just basing all around it. So then as soon as you bite, for me, at least when I bite into it, because I generally age my steak, I'll either buy a slab of steak, chuck it in the fridge, and I'll leave it for like a week or two, or I'll cut it up myself and then salt it and age it, or I'll do my own things that I've experimented with. So I could have any at any point, but the general meat, when you just cut it, salt it, put it on the butter and sear it. Because when you cut into it after like 2 weeks of it being hung or being in the store, it's so tender and soft, man. Like, we don't need tools. Like, I guarantee, man, if I walked up to a cow and I like in the head and then like literally with my teeth like bit its skin, I bet you I could stick my fingers in that little hole and rip out chunks of meat with my bare fingers. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Because I've legit grabbed slabs of meat, man, and it's like a big rump, like 8-9 kilo rump, and I'm just like pulling, like literally, like, and they're like ripping and like, yeah, I could kill you and eat you, man. Like,
Yeah.
I know I could. Like, we don't need tools. Like, I know it
Yeah,
for a
like a lot
fact.
of people think, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not until you do it yourself, like, that you recognize these things and realize it. Because, like, how do you eat your steak, Danny? Like,
So I noticed at first I needed to have it more cooked, but as it's gone on, I've just been making it rarer and rarer and rarer. Like, because it's
yeah,
just easier to chew, it's easier to digest, it actually makes it taste better as well.
that's
Yeah.
true. A lot of people, I just want to say this too, a lot of people, they get really ego mindset. I say ego a lot, but they get into that mindset where they think like, I'm just gonna eat straight raw, like I'm literally just gonna go into the shop, you're gonna kill the animal, I'm gonna eat it. And it's
Yeah.
like, man, it's not fun. Like, where's the
No.
flavor, where's the taste, where's the this, where's the you get this, you pick it out. Oh, that one looks nice, or give me a kilo of that or something. Get it home, salt it up, or do your thing, your magic work to it, and putting your love and vibes into it. And then it's like, then you cook it, and it's like, and then you like cut, like, and then you're like, oh, the salt, the flavor,
Yeah.
the crisp, man. You're just like, and it's, man, and honestly, because I love eating raw, because when I eat raw, like the straight up dead, like dead animal, it's like your digestion and your mental clarity does not shift from fasted. Like, it just doesn't.
Oh
So
wow. Okay.
it just doesn't. So now I can see why Sevilla goes like, you need blah 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 blah, like you cannot even, everything like that, because it is an elite mindset, man, in a sense. But I'm not saying that is the only fucking mindset you should do, but it's, you know what I mean, man? There's infinite mindsets, but it's a very strong, powerful mindset to have when you eat completely 100% raw, because you just stay zen, like zero carbs zen. You're just there.
Yeah.
And then you
Yeah.
drink
No.
some milk. Yeah, it's like, but then as soon as you start drinking milk, you start to feel kind of like, not anxiety kicks in, but that like that
Uh,
angst, that like, and then, but then when you cook food, like 100% when you cook food, you're on a tapped into a different vibe of like sensation, of love, of satisfaction, of care, of well-being, of like wealthiness, of like, I'll be honest, man, we're wealthy, we're healthy, we've created preferences, man. Like,
yeah. Yeah,
we
for
ain't little
sure.
like, we ain't little, like some little poor thing on the street, like, I can't cook my meat, or where do I cook my meat, or I can't eat my meat. Like,
Yeah.
man, yeah. So
Yeah, and
when we
it's yeah, and it sounds that you just manage to listen to your body and not become extremely dogmatic. So I know a lot of people, fruitarians and carnivores, can both be very dogmatic. Certain ones are just like, you should only eat raw and you should only do this. And it's like, if you're not that, then you're kicked out type of thing.
That's, yeah, exactly it. And I do advocate what I advocate, raw meat, fasting, and everything, but I don't say it's the only way to live.
Yeah.
It's, yeah, like, yeah.
Yeah. And would you say, so you're having a lot of meat and like just lightly seared, so it's pretty much raw.
Yes.
And you said you add like salt. Are you using like unrefined salt? Just
Yeah, I'm using unrefined salt. Currently at the moment I've got what is it called? Maldon salt. Because in
yeah.
Australia, like, Dude, where are you in the world at the moment?
Thailand at the moment. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you've probably got a bit of a better selection, I guess. Like in Australia, we're really selected and regulated. The only good thing we have, man, is meat, like meat and milk. But then our milk, man, you've got to like be a ninja and like a criminal and like like go under like the bridge and borders, man, to like get what you want. And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
And would you say you add any fat sources to your stuff? Do you add any beef tallow, any lard, or anything like that? Do you consume eggs, fish? As I know you said you consume dairy and butter, but do you consume any of those other things?
So I consume all animal products, but not as a regular basis. More so when I feel what I need on depending on the exercises, depending on the shift of the moon, depending on just things that are happening in life. What my general meals consist of is about 1 to 2 kilos of steak or mince with about 1 to 3 kilos, 1 to 3 liters of milk. Eggs, I don't have very often. I've also noticed another thing too, depending on your own personal body weight, and depending on how long you fast as well, is depending on how long your body will ask for things. Like I only just finished an experiment last night
Yeah.
after my 30-hour dry fast. I decided to just have a bit of yogurt, a tiny bit of honey, and some milk. And I wanted to feel the differences between when I'm fasted, because obviously like fat will repair like the inner line tissues and like all the fragmented parts of your body, and your brain runs off fat. So after the 30-hour fast, I just had a little bit high, like it was high fat ass yogurt. I had some like a tiny bit of honey, like 5 grams or something, just to give it a bit of like mad tangy flavor, and some milk to wash it down with some. The milk was like cream on top. Dude, I went and laid down, and my whole body felt like it was just like I was laying before, and I was stretching and I was moving and I was sweating, and I could feel the tingles in like my biceps and triceps and shoulders and back, and I could just feel like I knew I was fasting, and I could feel I was eating my body fat, and I was like, yeah, that's cool, that's what I want. But then I was like, okay, let's just try having fat right now and feel the difference between it. So I did that with a little bit of sugar, and dude, I've never felt that in my life after a 30-hour fast. Like, and I've done a lot of fasts, man, like 5-day dry fast, 9-day fasts, like like a lot of 9-day fasts, like a lot. And I swear I've fasted more than I've ate in like the last 5 years, to be honest. That's why I was
Yeah.
so skinny. Anyway,
Yeah.
no, that's just what everyone said because I advocated fasting. Anyway, I felt this clarity within me, man, and because I was like walking down the hallway and it was really dark, and I was just a lot of like Mercury retrograde and things happening and spiritual things in my life. And anyway, I just felt as though there was like some dark presences around the past couple of weeks, and I've just kind of just been stating my power, who I am, what I feel, and what I would like to put out to the universe. When I walked down that corridor, man, the first time when I was fasted, I felt complete fear, but I had a knowing to be that life is fine. When I ate that, when I ate that and started walking back out, man, I was ready, man. I was like, you want to come to my house up in this? You like, you think you can do this? Like, you think you can mess with God? You think you can do this? Man, and the power that I could feel emit from myself, man. I had like friends calling me, messaging me, like asking like, how am I? What am I doing? Like, do I want to hang out? And it's like 11 o'clock at night, so I gotta go to bed. It's like, but then I woke up a couple hours later, and it was just like stayed up pretty much all last night, just meditating, man. And it's this feeling on Carnivore. I wish people could just give it a I'll be honest, give it 9 months. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna live forever. Like you're gonna live to like 100. Like let's say the average is let's just say it. You're gonna live to 100 years old. Why not give 9 months of your life, not away to carnivory, but why not take it in, feel it, because it's a fucking it's a trick. Your gut bacteria is gonna change. You're gonna shift. Your mind's gonna get into it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's life transformative as it seems for you and for me and many other people. And it's just, yeah, it's just people. It's so good that you're someone that is present on social media and is trying to make people aware of this as much as possible, because so many people are suffering as we had been. And it's like, yeah, we just need to help as many brainwashed people as possible. But as we know, just like yourself, a lot of us had to get to breaking point to actually make that shift and actually wake up. Yeah,
100%.
it's,
Yeah. Like, how
yeah,
far did you go, Danny? Because, man, watching your videos, some of them got really horrific. Because, like, I was watching the one where you were first eating the egg, and I sent
oh
it to
yeah,
like, yeah, I sent it to like my mates in the Carnivore group chat. Like, we got our own little thing, not like with blah blah blah, big up, just my mates, just a couple mates that are doing it. And I was talking to them about it, and they were like, man, like, because you know when you were saying you were feeling the feelings of the pain and
yeah,
stuff, like, dude, that is true. I remember the first time I started eating meat, yeah, I did feel the suffering and this and that, because it is real, it is there. Not
yeah,
saying they are suffering, but like, it
yeah,
is real that they're dying, and you can tap into that vibration and frequency and feel that. And I understand that completely. And when I seen that, man, I was just like, I really hope he goes carnivore, man. Just all, like, not all the way, but just keep eating, keep going through it, man. And then I seen that you were talking about veganism and some other stuff, so I decided not to watch your videos because I was already in a mindset of like, because it was funny because you, Frank Tefano, Cole Robinson, and a couple of my mates were the main people in my life at the time who I was kind of talking to, or just seeing
yeah,
things happening in social media. So I obviously knew like you three were going to be a bigger part of my life, and say over, yeah. Well, anyway,
yeah,
with advocating all of this stuff, man, I've just noticed, say like Luke Miller, me and Luke, like I've known Luke since March, January, February, like around February, March this year, and we both were just talking. We randomly called each other, and it was really awesome. Then I had the interview with Sevilla, so and then Sevilla was like, so you're going to do an anti-vegan event, because I asked Sevilla to help us out with the anti-vegan event. So then he said after the interview and stuff, he'll do like a thing and say like, message Dilian Hunt, message Luke Miller, and like go down there. Man, people messaged us, but no one came. I legit traveled like 600 kilometers just to get to a city, just to be there, like in the middle of the street, to like, you know, eat some raw liver with one of my mates and like advocate what I believed was
oh
true.
wow, yeah, yeah. I haven't watched the video, but I've seen the thumbnail for that video online.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I set that up with Sevilla, and then like Luke. Like that's the thing. Like I just want to say this. I actually set that up, not Luke Miller, but
yeah,
I actually told Luke. I was like, I don't want to be a part of this, and I don't want to make myself famous, or I don't want to make myself well known because of this. So
yeah,
I'll do it. Yeah, even though I set it up, I got everything happening, and then Luke bought the liver, and then we got David, who was the filmer, the cameraman. Um, I didn't. That's why I didn't really talk much or speak or do things.
and what event did you go to so people can get the full picture on this? So you ate raw liver and got filmed and put online. And where did you go and eat this raw liver in front of people?
Melbourne, Australia, at what is it for the voiceless?
Yeah, like a
Um,
vegan type of event.
yeah. So literally, just type in like Melbourne, Australia, two vegan men crash event, or vegans crash Melbourne event, or just anything against crashing Melbourne
Yeah.
vegan event, and you'll find us. And yeah, Luke, man, it was so funny because we both have never done this before. Like I've done speeches and spoken to people in positive ways, but not to tell people like you're wrong. Like, so I didn't really know what to say, and I remember we were standing there like. And then Luke is like, "You're all malnourished. You're brainwashed. You're vegan and this and that." And then they're like, "Oh, lol, lol, lol. Yeah, eat the meat." And then Luke would eat the meat. They're like, "Yeah, eat the meat." And it's like you could feel the vibe that they were just getting off on it. Like they were like, "Yeah, eat that meat." Like, yeah, man. Yeah.
Wow,
And
it's funny.
man, no one told us to leave. That's the funny thing about it. We were there with blood all over our faces and hands and eating these like raw animals, man. And like everyone was just more so looking at the dead animal, man. And then we watched back on the footage and we're like, whoa, man. Like some people were looking at literally like, you're not meant to be here. Like, it is not nice. And then just looking at the raw liver and the blood and stuff, man, we're like, wow, when you intuitively know, you
Yeah.
intuitively do know.
Yeah, it's good you're doing some sort, or you did some sort of activism. Obviously, it's quite shocking. There's a lot of people that a lot of stuff gets in the news. People say they're crazy and so forth. But yeah, it's really good that
Yeah,
you're doing something like that. And it's like, yeah, man, it's like
yeah. Luke
really,
and I
really.
would have.
Yeah,
Sorry, I
carry
was
on.
just saying. Luke and I would have. Luke, David, and myself were the first in Australia to ever do an anti-vegan event, and
Okay, nice.
yeah, so that's why it kind of got like a bit
Yeah.
big in Australia
Yeah.
and stuff because we're the very first to do it.
Wow,
And
nice work, man. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah. So I
really good.
feel cool about that. It's
Yeah.
kind of fun. Yeah.
And yeah, with organs, do you eat organs on a regular basis? What type of organs do you eat? And what's your view? Do you think people need to eat organs to thrive on the carnivore diet as much as possible?
Um. No, I don't. I'll be honest. I'll be straight up honest, man. I don't believe you 100% need to eat kidney and liver and eyeballs and testicles every day or man, like what, like I listen to my body. I really, really listen to my body now that I eat that I eat food. So when I feel like liver, it's a very just it's very instinctual because like animal parts and body parts and this and that, they're all got their own like not mad but awesome frequency, whereas fruit, it's all kind of sugary like rainbow. So it's like you can kind of eat any fruit or any sugar and kind of nearly almost get the same sensation, but it's like, oh, I crave durian, you're only going to get that durian. But if you crave
Yeah.
like a watermelon, you might be able to get off with like a honeydew or a sapodilla or something like that. Whereas if you're craving liver on a carnivore diet, or in general, the only thing that's going to fix that is liver. The only thing that's going to fix the craving for steak is steak. Like, and it's not just going to be like steak. It's like I feel like T-bone, I feel like rump steak, and it's like you have to go
Ah,
out and specifically eat that rump steak or specifically that
yeah.
T-bone and the sirloin or something.
Yes,
Or,
it sounds like you have become so in tune with your body. It's not your ego taking control or like some mental programming or brainwashing. It's like you're just so in tune beyond belief now.
yeah, and I truly do believe that because the first 6 months I was eating liver, kidney, like all entrails and everything that I could possibly get my hands on because I forced myself to do it because were saying to do it. But the
Yeah.
more I did that, the less satiated I was. And then my urine would be like super green from peeing out B vitamins, or I would get super sleepy, or I wouldn't digest certain things. I would vomit a lot, and then
Oh, wow.
belief,
Okay.
my bulimia came back more so of my body just saying, "Yo, dude, we don't want 150 grams of liver and kidney and a kilo of steak and a kilo of milk and fish and salmon roe," and it's just like simple.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's so amazing to hear. I haven't heard someone say it before. Yeah. Yeah,
I
it's really good to
honestly,
hear. I think a lot of people need to be aware of that.
yeah, man, because like I haven't eaten liver for about 3 weeks, and it's funny you mention that because I feel like eating liver yesterday, but that's only because I fasted. So think about that. Every day, I would naturally be eating about 1 to 2 kilos of meat with milk and butter or something like that, like a little bit of butter. So let's say I'm having realistically 5,000 calories.
Yeah.
Realistically, 5,000 calories of food nearly daily. So meaning I can last, like 2, 3 days, 4 days without food and feel like, oh, not that I haven't eaten, but like, okay, I'm hungry. I should probably eat. But then if I'm distracted by doing my life stuff, then I won't eat.
Yeah.
But then think about it. So now I'm tapping into stores. I'm losing my muscle glycogen, my liver glycogen. Then I'm going to start using my fat stores and everything. And I'm no longer in a surplus. I'm now becoming in a deficit. So within that deficit, I will naturally lose excess amounts of vitamins, minerals, and everything. Fasting does help correlate, regulate, and balance things, but you also need to understand that you need to refeed to help put it back, put it
Yeah.
back. So, for an instance, I have not had a good. I haven't fasted for over 24 hours, for the past 2-3 weeks, and decided to just not decided, but naturally felt that I was going to fast. Like I just let it happen. And since I did the 30-hour fast, I felt like liver. I don't have liver at the moment. I've got some kidney, but I
Yeah.
don't feel like kidney. I feel like liver. Um, so I haven't eaten again because I don't feel like anything apart from just I literally just feel like a bite of liver. That's it. And I haven't felt like that since I fasted. So I 100% can see and understand that we live in a surplus life, which we're meant to live in a surplus
Yes.
life. That's why we consume so much junk
Yeah.
and chips and everything like that. But when we get into a state of fasting, that's for disease, and we have the mindset to able say if I want to get my chest more ripped or something, I would chuck in an extra like 5 hours or a day fast, or you know what I mean, because I have
Yeah.
that mind to be able to think that. But if I just tap into my body nearly all the time wants to be in a surplus unless I catch some sort of bacterial infection or anything that says, okay, you've got like a excess amount of bacteria or vitamin or anything. Just don't eat for the next 8 hours and let's let it flush. Let's let it go and do its thing. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and yeah, it's really good that you said about the organs, because so many people, and I thought that a lot, that you need to eat a lot on a regular basis. I think maybe if someone's very deficient, it can be good because it's definitely a very good superfood without a doubt. But like you're saying, it's like you've been eating this way for a while, you've topped up, so then you can fast for a while, and then because you're giving your body back exactly what it needs, you don't feel that you need to eat organs all the time because you've got a surplus of the things you need, rather than a surplus of sugar that is just spilling out over everywhere and not giving you all the essential
ex-
micronutrients you need and so forth.
well deciphered. Yeah, exactly. Like, because I have the fat nutrients and the stores within me, like I can last that extra longer and feel nice, but because the liver has the top house, it's a round house of everything. Once I have that, everything's going to be fine. But also in saying that, I do want to say this. When you're a carnivore, if you're doing strict carnivore, it doesn't matter if it's raw or cooked. Just forget about that. But if you're doing carnivore, you really do have to eat enough because you need glyconeogenesis. Um,
Yeah.
you need it. Otherwise, carnivore will not work for you. Otherwise, go meat based and add in some honey and some fruit and things like that, and have fun with life. And but
Yeah, yeah,
if you really want to do like the gluconeogenesis, you're gonna have to eat. Say if you're 6 foot tall, and I'm lucky, I'm 5'7", but if you're 6 foot tall, you're gonna have to eat like another like 500 grams of meat above me to reach gluconeogenesis and get that muscle thing. It's effort.
yeah.
It is effort to eat
Yeah,
that.
and I've realised that from my own experimentation. I only have to have so much protein to induce glucogenesis. If people don't know what that is, it's when you're eating so much protein that it turns to glucose that's usable. But I found if I'm not eating a lot, that won't kick in. So for me to actually feel good on this diet, it has to be like high fats keto carnivore. So then running on
Yes,
ketones rather than glucogenesis.
exactly. And Danny, you're super lean. Like you're really, really lean. Like I've got a bit more.
I
Like
just need to get
obviously
my charger. You can keep
you're
talking to
fine.
them, but I just need to get my charger. One sec,
Yeah,
fam.
I need to get my charger too. Anyway, so like in saying that, Danny's really lean, and I've got a bit more excess fat on me. So, for an example, can you see the underlining of the muscle, and then so I've got like a solid 5-6 days of fasting on me, whereas Danny would probably he could go for about 48 hours to 3 days before it would just be like really. Actually, no, I've kind of seen his abs and chest a bit more than. Anyway, I was just explaining, man. So see how you can see the muscle lining there. but then like I let it go. You see that fat there. For an example, man, I've got like a solid like 5 to 9 days, like easy fasting on me, like solid. Whereas when you look at you could last probably about 24, 48 hours. Not saying
Yeah, for
that's
sure.
bad. Not saying it's bad, but that's just because of how lean you are. So
Oh, yeah, for sure.
so yeah, our diet would be, obviously we're eating the same thing, but depending on how much we're eating would be different. Because I noticed the leaner I get, man, I want more fat. Like I really do want to just kind of go keto and just like have a big hunk of fat and like, you know, a decent amount of meat. Whereas when I'm carnivore, I literally just want like a thin strip of fat and a chunk of meat. Like when I'm like wanting to like be a bulky boy sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, without a doubt. Yeah, that's interesting. And yeah, well, like for me, I mentioned it briefly. Like, due to the vegan diet messing me up so much, I'm still in like the healing phase with this like carnivore based type of diet, and I'm not still being able to train loads. And like due to that vegan diet, I couldn't maintain my muscle mass at all. I've lost like 8 kilograms of like muscle due to the vegan diet messing me up. I'll mention that in a video soon. But yeah, still in the healing
Oh,
phase and rebuilding phase at the moment, so then I will be able to start training consistently again. But yeah,
man, that's a lot. Eight
yeah,
kilos, dude. That's like, man,
yeah,
that's a lot.
yeah, yeah.
That's,
But
dude.
yeah,
And
I know.
think,
Yeah, but I've seen that you've been able to bulk up and you're eating more than me, because like I'm still quite new to this, so I'm eating a lot. But yeah, it's good that you're able to eat enough. It's like, and that you've got your body used to it. And did you find that you had any sort of like, did you have to get your body used to eating this way, or at first? Did you eat smaller amounts at first? Did you ease into it? How was your transition? Was it smooth? Was it all over the show? How did it go?
it was all over the show. I will say that, man. It wasn't just like as simple as this. I'm just gonna bang do it. Some days, man, I only drank milk. Some days, I only ate yogurt. Some days I only ate meat. You know, some days I isolated meals, and some days I mixed everything, and some days I did or didn't. Um, but I soon realized not to mix meat with really anything. You can't have meat
Yes.
and fat on its own, and then the
Yeah.
milk stuff you can have with like milk stuff, like milk,
Yeah.
cheese, and
Yeah.
anyway, as I learned that, I lost my train of thought. Sorry, there was a butterfly outside.
The butterflies.
The butterfly effect, Danny.
Oh yeah,
Um,
how was your transition? That was it. That's what we was
it
talking
was
about.
yeah, it was all over the joint, dude. I remember my digestion for the like people said like yeah, give it 2 weeks and you know you're just gonna have maybe a little diarrhea. Dude, my stools were legit just water. Like I did like they weren't meat or like waste product of meat. It was like just saliva, mucus, water, and a little tiny little bit of like brown dumpage. And it was just like man, my body hurt so bad. I could feel inside like my kidneys, man. Like, oh my God, they were just like, I could feel them growing and putting things together and like my
Yeah.
organs reassimilating. And I remember, yeah, you know what I mean, man. Like, and you can't sleep either, dude. Like, you go to lay down and you're just like uncomfortable, like not even in like a really bad uncomfort. You're just like, you just can't sleep. Like, no matter what you do, like even if you like force yourself to drink like liters of milk or eat heaps and heaps and you're stopped to like completely like belging and bulging and stuff, it's just like you lay down and then you're back to reality. You're kind of even more aware of what you've done instead of when you were vegan, you kind of got lost in you know
Yeah.
what I mean, man? After a good binge on vegan, you were kind of
Yeah.
just whacked out of your mind. You could just probably
Oh
pass
yeah.
out.
But not on
Whereas
this
this,
diet. Yeah.
yeah, like, and the thing is
And
too, man. Sorry.
and how long did those digestive issues go on for until they started to correct? I remember listening to Michaela Peterson before. I'm sure you're aware of her. It took her 6 weeks for her diarrhea to go away, and then she started having optimal digestion.
I started, man. I don't know what optimal digestion means, dude. My
Yeah.
digestion's different all the time, man. Like,
Yeah.
one day, like, not the first 2 weeks was just weird. It was like mucus, liquid, and little bits of brown stuff, and I would feel so very sick. And then my digestion didn't start getting good to the first 3 months because one of my friends told me to add salt because I was so ego that I didn't add salt.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't see no I don't see no like salt in nature, bitch. Like I'm just, like I'm not licking rocks, man. Like I get my salt from raw meat. It's like there's hardly any salt in it, man. And your stomach is made of hydrochloric acid, which requires salt to
Yeah.
create those acid to pull in from the gallbladder and then help assimilate the fat soluble like that then goes through and then
Vitamins and nutrients and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
which then gets absorbed by your liver. So I knew that, but my mind was so like, I'll be honest with you guys. I love I love Sevier, but man, don't watch his stuff and think it's the end all fucking the
Yeah, for
end all
sure.
answers. Yeah, you'll end up in hospital quick, like you will.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good that you mentioned that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
truth. Like I very much love him, care and respect, and I think he's awesome and amazing. But at the same time, he does have a really very strong mindset, and
Yeah.
I don't believe that he's kind of showing or telling everyone everything that he truly does, because like you know what I mean, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, social media as well.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. It
Yeah.
is. It is.
And would you say that you've been eating fish at all, or like any type of seafoods?
Salmon, wild caught salmon. As well as that, I haven't really eaten a lot of local fish in Mildura because we're inland riverland. But one of my friends, his family went out to Melbourne, which is out on the coast on the bottom of Australia, and they went out deep sea fishing, and they brought back these like little fish, man, and they just skinned them and gave them to me raw because they knew I ate raw meat. And anyway, oh wow, man! I put them in my mouth, and I was like, "Whoa, this is like I can taste the omega-3 fat, like
Yeah.
so specific, man. That it's omega-3 fat, like, and you eat it, and you're like a little bit of protein, but oh my,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. It's
man,
so
it's
good.
so yummy.
Yeah. And have you
And
tried anything like salmon roe? Because you mentioned that earlier.
sorry, not salmon roe. I've tried lumpfish roe.
Okay.
Lumpfish roe. It's the only thing I could currently get in Australia.
Yeah.
Not saying, well, it is only the current thing I can get at.
Yeah.
Like if I could find salmon roe, like I don't really care about the price at the moment. Like not saying I'm rich and all
Yeah.
this, but law of attraction, you got to try it,
Yeah.
you got to put it out and
Yeah.
make it happen. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I am rich in abundance, and I am a millionaire.
Yeah.
Anyway, as you, so I really want to try testicles as well. I haven't tried them yet. Have you?
Yeah, that'd be
What?
really interesting. I can't get access to. I can get access to a lot of things, but not a lot of different organs. The main organ I just eat is liver because I know it's definitely like a very, very nutrient dense thing. But yeah, not saying that people definitely need to eat all the time. And it's like, yeah, it's like saying you just listen to your body. Certain things your body wants more of this things. You have it more of that when you need it, and more of this. You're
Yeah,
not forcing yourself. Yeah, it sounds that you just become way more balanced with your diet and just
and in tune with myself. Yeah.
giving it exactly what it needs. Like which yeah,
Exactly, and it goes even beyond. Say after the 6 month period, I started to I like something just clicked. I woke up one morning and I felt like I was about 4 to 5 years old again. Kind of when life didn't matter, that mum and dad would take care of me, and that I'm just kind of here to play PlayStation and play out the backyard and like see what's going on in life and like go to school, education, watching videos and
yeah,
stuff like that. Anyway, like nothing mattered, and I woke up and I felt that feeling, and I quickly grabbed onto it, and I was like, oh, like let's just reside in myself, and this is what I mean when you allow yourself to eat meat, like because it is you, you are meat, you literally are. Like anyway, the universe then told me to message this person on Snapchat, and I was scrolling through, blah, 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 message this person. Long story short, but I was getting lots of synchronistic events, numbers, numerology, like stars were aligned and everything. I went to this person's house to go meet up, chill out, and her brother was my old friend, and all my old high school friends were at this place, and I was meeting this girl, and it was just kind of like, yeah, I'm meeting your sister. Yeah. And then like, anyway, we went into the caravan, and she was just coming off like a huge drug binge of like, being on Xanax and lean and like, you know, living the sad boy aesthetic lifestyle of being super malnourished. She wanted to be a boy, so going through her own personal transitions. Anyway, as soon as I listened to the universe and it told me to go there, guide her, talk to her, and teach her everything, she went straight into carnivore with open ears and like an open heart. And oh my God, like my partner Storm, when she changed, like she was just like day after day after day, she was going through. So I got to watch someone be super malnourished, almost to my point, and heal. And
Oh, wow.
it was, yeah, dude, it was phenomenal. Like Storm went through like digestive pains and stuff. She was having like diarrhea, and like her stools were green at one point, like really like toxic green. And her teeth, because she's got braces, and all her teeth were like messed up from eating like Skittles and lollies and chocolates, and so they're all shattered and like messed up and like frail. And she's got braces to put them back in line.
Yeah.
They weren't fixing, man. They just weren't fixing whilst she was eating this other stuff. As soon as she went carnivore, legit, the body just made all the teeth line up, like she had crooked, crazy looking, you know, drug teeth, but the doctors put up the braces, line them up, and from eating carnivore and fasting, you know, it's fasting to break down, eating to rebuild. And what's happening when you've got like a metal brace pulling a tooth, you're breaking and rebuilding, you know, you've got to refill those tracks along the way. And man, she had she didn't have any breasts, or like she was so flat chested that like when she took off her shirt, she was legit, it was flat chest. And it was very, well, to say the truth, it was very unappealing for me that she looked like a little boy. And it was just weird. Like, why is the universe telling me all this stuff to do this and to love her like I love her, like I want to be with her forever? So I treated her like that. Anyway, man, it was rapid crazy. Like within a week, she started to like it started to like kind of just puff up, and it like swelled. Like when you felt it, man, it wasn't like squishy. It was like a rock. Like you go like that. And it's like, yeah, and I was kind of scared at the same, but I intuitively knew this is good. Anyway, the rock then filled out to squishiness, and then the same thing happened again, and then again, and now she's like a proper, I would say like a seat. I don't know the sizes, man, but a decent handful that's like comfortable and relaxed. And they've grown out and nice, and they look strong. And her hips were, her hips used to be dead straight, dead straight. And now she's got like, it comes down and it comes out and around, and it's like an hourglass. And that's how I know we're all meant to be. Everyone in the world is meant to be sexy and attractive. Because as soon as you get into carnivore, like, I'm being honest, when I look at my partner, I sometimes get that feeling like when you look at an attractive person, when you're like you don't want to look at them in the eyes. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like this is, I'm having a baby with this beautiful soul. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm feeling that about her. And it's like, it's fun because
that's so good.
It is, man. It is. And you constantly,
so it's just like you both just started to become extremely fertile and healthy, and you noticed it yourself and your girlfriend. That's amazing that you both did that for you. It's like, man, so good that you both woke up, and it's so good that she was able to jump on board with it.
Yeah, man. And it's funny too, because it's so funny because we watched a lot of your videos, man, and I used you as a lot of advocation for stuff of saying like when I was Fruitarian, because I didn't have any videos online, man. And it was just, so yeah. And then when you went carnivore, I was like, it was just like locked down the thing and made things work perfectly. And I'm just so thankful and grateful that not used, but I when I always talk about Fruitarian and stuff, I use like you or like, because even Bobby didn't have many videos and stuff and didn't really talk about it.
Okay.
And, you know, Austin is his own little world, but you like made it sound scientific or cool to do this, to do that, as well as many other Fruitarians. And like when you actually got into it. So I showed you to my partner and like some other people like, okay, this is blah, 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 blah. Then he went like raw vegan, like back to raw vegan and cooked vegan. He's put on muscle, blah, 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 this, that. And so then you went carnivore, man, and it was just like the way better thing, because the people I was coaching and who I would use as like someone to advocate, because I was coaching raw vegans as well, and they would say stuff like, yeah, I know you're into carnivore and I know you're into eating meat, but I also know that you were into raw veganism. Can you teach me how to build muscle and raw veganism? So then I would say to look at Danny Glass, like Creator Conscious Calisthenics, and to ask him, or to like watch his content and stuff like that, because I just didn't feel really strong in advocating that. But, you know, obviously that's just where they are at life. It doesn't mean that they're going to advance or decline. That's just where they are. And
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man.
And it's like, obviously you said like you deteriorated so much from the vegan diet, so you went through nutritional reserves, and just like with me, I managed to build up my body, but I hit a wall where I just started to deteriorate, couldn't sustain it anymore, and crashed and burned, and now I'm recovering from it. Yeah. So it's just like I used up all the nutritional reserves, just like you. I didn't get the same negative effects, didn't have absolutely stick thing. I managed to build muscle, but it's just like we're both in a very similar situation. You just get to that point where your health starts massively deteriorating. You're not getting what you need. You try to fix it with this thing, that thing, and in the end, you realize it's this crappy, malnourishing vegan diet.
Exactly. Yeah. 100%, man.
Yeah.
And it's like, look where we are both now, and as well as many other people who are doing a heavy meat based diet or carnivore diet. We truly are thriving. Like, man, right now I'm like fasted again for another, like, it's been like since 4:00 yesterday, and I still feel as though I can just kind of be channeled that energy. I may stutter at times, but this is a live stream, man. You know what I mean? It's like I don't have to kind of think about things if I have personal reminders or like little scripts and stuff. We've got the main advocation of we're just here.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm so glad that it both helped you in a really good way. And I'm sure you've seen so many other people deteriorate as well. Like, it's just like an epidemic. It's just like my sister that was not eating meat for 20 years. She's now gone back to eating meat, and she's eating a carnivorous diet. And that a lot of my vegan family's starting to switch because they're not thriving as well. But people say, oh, well, you just did it wrong. Like, you did it wrong, Dylan. I did it wrong. We needed to get this test done and this test and take this supplement and do that. And it's just like, well, we're designed to eat animal foods. Where do you find any civilization that's just eating exclusive plant-based diet? They all eat animal foods. Every tribal person, like, it just doesn't make sense, does it?
It doesn't make sense, man. And the thing was, my father also... Sorry, I'm just trying to fix up my phone.
Yes,
so I just had to put the charger in. My father said the exact same thing to me. And because they really are like, you know, the whole traditional Aboriginal tribal, like, very, like, proud in their culture. I don't believe in pride, because pride then the sense of authority, meaning blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so they're very proud in their culture and what they do and what they advocate and how they've lived on this land for so long. And then as soon as you mention like fruits or vegetables, it's just like, this stuff was not here in Australia. Like, do you not get it? Like I even had like my family say to me, like, you're a white boy, like, you're white, like, you know, like, you're doing white people things. Like, why do white people always like do white people things? And it's just like,
that's funny.
It is, man. It is. It does. It puts you back in reality sometimes, and you kind of think, what did cavemen eat? What did cavemen eat, and what did cavemen do? So what did we, or not cavemen specifically, but what did we do before we started civilization? How did we survive for so long?
Yeah, there wasn't all these grains and all these hybridized fruits and vegetables and all this other stuff. It's just like, it doesn't make sense.
And like, you've lived in Thailand for like the past 5 years, so like you've been through the rice burning seasons, and you've seen the plastic and the waste, and you've seen everything, man. And how much does it just kind of shift your consciousness? Like, not within that moment, you're not like going there like, I'm not going to be vegan because there's plastic on the ground. But like when you kind of take a step back, the only reason why there is plastic is because of plants. You know, like
yeah,
I'm not saying,
exactly. It's the whole
yeah,
reality check. Yeah. So we've been on for just over 2 hours. I think we'll wrap it up there in a second.
sounds
But is
good.
there any other thing that you think is important to mention you haven't mentioned? And yeah, do you have any message that you would like to share to other people that maybe not thriving on any type of vegan diet and they're not making the switch and sticking out longer than is ideal for them to do so?
So I would like to say something. Thank you. One big thing to Austin, bro, we spent a lot of time together, man. Those honestly, man, those times that we would spend like awake and would go to the yoga barn and messaging each other when we were both just malnourished, bro. We literally, man, we were both just malnourished. We both felt the vibe of love and care and frequency, but we just didn't have the right words to use at those moments or times just because we were malnourished and we were both looking for food. And I know, like, when I asked you for that $20 back, man, like, it wasn't because, like, I didn't want to, not be friends with you or anything, or I wanted to cut ties, or I was scared of money or anything like that. It's just because, realistically, man, I came to Asia with absolutely no money. And because I loved you so much, man, and like I wanted to show you my love in different ways, that I just spent most of my money on you and on Samantha and on David when we were there at the Fruitarian place, because like I was going Breatharian, so I didn't need fruit for money.
Yeah.
But then once I needed money, man, like you kind of just like, I don't know, I asked you for it and then you gave me 20 Australian, but you said you had $10,000 in your bank. So I literally came to Asia with no money, and then I made money from coaching. And then I invited you to my house, and like you stayed with Getty and everyone and everything. And like, you're a lovely, amazing, grateful, thankful, awesome person, man. But just understand that the only reason why you're doing this and why you're running away from everyone and everything and all your friends and your family, and like, dude, your auntie and your mum, like, they message me sometimes, dude, and we keep in contact, dude, and we are all legit worried about you, man, because like, dude, you do die when you do stuff like this, because
Yeah. Yeah, and it
yeah,
is.
man,
It's just you've been through it, and it's like you just want to help people like Raw Bliss, but it's like I said,
yeah,
just so many people just so far down the rabbit hole, they're either going to ended up in hospital like you did at one point or something else, and it's just like, yeah, man, just got to just keep spreading the message and hope that certain people will hook onto it at certain times.
that's it, man. And the second thing shortly I'd like to say is, with carnivore, I will say one thing. It's realistically only mainly the meat that needs to be at least 70% raw. The milk, I swear we digest at least 70% of cooked milk or anything pasteurized that's dairy. As soon as it gets cooked meat, you do digest it, but you're just going to get stomach pains because it's got less liquid. That's the only difference you're going to get. You're not going to die. You're not going to do anything. Like, you're not going to be unthriving or unhealthy. The difference is digestion and difference of mental clarity. So
Yeah,
you don't always have to be raw, and you don't always have to be cooked. Just do whatever you feel whenever, as long as it's, in a
yeah,
sense, healthy food and
yeah,
healthy
yeah,
mindset.
yeah. And actually, one thing I'm going to ask you as well is, predominantly, what are the meats that you eat? Because I found for me, I've tried a few different things, but my body just wants beef all the time. Like beef, beef, beef. Do you eat like pork, chicken? Do you eat loads of different meats? Which meats you find that you feel best on, that you're drawn to?
Man, when I was first beginning, for the first like 6 months, I was trying pretty much everything, but I named beef.
Yeah,
My
same.
body only just asks for beef pretty much now.
Yeah, yeah,
Just, yeah,
yeah,
rump steak.
yeah. Because I had the type of thing, I was like, oh, I should eat many different animals to get many different nutrients. Then I realized it's a
Same.
load of crap, and it's like it's not necessary at all.
Yeah, yeah.
And all of my beef comes from Australia, grass-fed, pasture-raised, and everything. So I actually import it all from a
Dude,
company.
do you get it from Melbourne
It's,
or like Gippsland or anything
I'm
like
not
that?
sure exactly where it comes from because the company gets it for me, but it's all grass-fed, pasture-raised, antibiotic-free, hormone-free. Like, they're proper free range. It's not like they're in cages and let out a little bit. They have complete access to
Oh,
outdoor
dude,
environment at all times.
oh, man, I'll let you know that's what Australia is. We don't have caged animals, man.
Ah,
Like,
wow, okay.
the whole bullshit about Australia having caged animals. It's not true, man. Australia is 90% pastured farmland.
Yeah, it's the same as Ecuador as well. Ecuador's the same. I think
Yeah,
New Zealand's very similar as well. So yeah,
we don't cage our animals, man.
yeah,
They're all in fields. They got a
yes,
barn out back.
yes, you're like me. You're buying it from the most sort of ethical sources possible.
Yes.
Yeah,
Dude, if you ever come to Australia, like obviously, if you come to Australia, man, I could like give you a place to chill or something. You could just like try out what Australia's like, man.
yeah, it would be amazing.
Dude, I'll be honest with you. The Victoria is known as to have the best beef in the world. Like
Oh
Victoria,
wow, okay.
Australia is known. We've got the prime Angus beef. So if
Oh
you ever
no.
Google that, man, yeah, dude. Oh
Yeah.
my god, you like touch it and like your finger just goes. It's like oh okay.
Wow. Yeah, it's nice. I want to try a Wagyu beef as well, which is the Japanese
I
cows. Apparently,
I
it's like
wanna.
one of the fattiest cows that you can get. It's a very sought after meat. It costs a lot to buy it though if you're out of Japan, for sure.
We got Wagyu here.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, there's like a Wagyu farm, like a couple 100 kilometers down from here, but they sell it for like $40 a kilo, like 40
Wow.
to 50 a kilo. Yeah.
Yeah. It costs a lot for sure. Yeah. And one last thing I'd like to ask you, what's your thoughts on people eating pretty much all factory farmed animal foods compared to like pasture raised? I want to see what your
Well,
view is on that.
well, the thing is, so Australia legit, we literally everything is legit, pretty much free range except for chickens and like the smaller animals, but cows are all free range. So, for an instance, if you go to a supermarket in Australia, such as Woolworths or Coles, you're not going to get the best quality meat because it is from healthy animals. It is from healthy animals, but they do put additives and preservatives and stuff after, because I have done tests where I bought mince straight from the butchers and mince from the supermarket. I've sat them next to each other. The butchered meat browned in a day and the other one stayed red for the whole week. And it
Oh
said no
wow.
preservatives, no added hormones, no nothing. As well as that, I've bought some like cuts of meat from supermarkets because I generally, if I'm ever going to a supermarket, I might just out of curiosity say, hey, where do you get your meat this week or this time, or what's your source and stuff? And they always tell me. But the only thing is, they do get it from realistic, awesome sources, but they do something, man, within the
Yeah.
process of it being, because they cut it themselves. Like Woolworths and Coles have their own factories in Sydney, in Melbourne, Sydney, Melbourne, and Adelaide, and then they get chopped up, butchered there, and then sent out. So if you're ever in Australia, get from your local IGA, because they will always get from their local source, or they will get from two places in Australia, and that's Gippsland and also in Sydney. And those are the
Okay.
only two places licensed to sell currently for IGA. And it's 100% grass fed, grass finished. Like
Nice.
it is really,
Yeah.
really, really nice.
Yeah.
The only thing is, it's grass finished because it doesn't have a lot of finishing fat on the calf,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
anyway,
So,
if
so would you say that you definitely think from your own personal experience that you'd feel way better from the food you're eating because you're getting like higher quality meats compared to factory farm meats? Do you think you would have got as significant benefits and feel as good if you were just eating exclusive factory farmed animal foods?
no, that's where I was going to get to totally, is that, sorry, I branched off, but that's exactly what I was going to get to, is that you will not be able to sustain yourself on factory farming and heal and thrive. Like, I've tested this because I have a couple of friends with autoimmune diseases and they only eat from factory farming, and I do not have autoimmune. So I'm like, I'm very healthy. I will
Yeah.
go and try this. And my health declined from that. So if it's in
Oh
the
wow.
declining
Okay.
point, it declined. Like I didn't, yeah, it
Wow.
declined. So
Yeah.
don't eat from factory, please. Please get from your local butcher or your local, just get from as,
Yeah. Support
it
them.
doesn't even, yeah, it doesn't even have to be legitimately local. Like, let's say you're in your same country. If you can just constantly get from that same delivery district butcher, or that's, or even the same feeding grounds, or the cows from the same feeding grounds that are cut up, butchered, and sent to you, that local. butcher or wherever, just support it, just do it. Like, man, and it's
Yeah.
generally cheaper than supermarkets, generally as
Yes,
well.
so it sounds like you've been very conscious around the food choices you're getting it from. Treating animals that's better for the environment, and it's also better for your health as well. So it's really good to see that you are being
Definitely.
conscious around this. And yeah, I definitely agree. I don't think people can feel nowhere near as good. Like, it shows that, like, if the animal isn't like pasture raised, for example, the omega-3 to 6 ratio is so imbalanced. But if you're getting like the grass-fed beef, for example, you get way more omega-3, and you need that to feel as good as possible. Otherwise, you could end up with inflammation and not feel so good.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is there
well
anything?
said.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really, really good to hear that, because I listen to a lot of people, and there's a lot of people in this whole movement that don't seem to think about the food choices as much as possible. And then there's quite a few people that aren't feeling good long term or getting the results they want. And then I find out they're eating loads of factory farmed animal foods. I'm not saying you don't have to eat none of it, but I would say limit it as much as possible. And obviously the processed meats, get rid of them, don't eat them whatsoever as well. But yeah.
Exactly, Danny. Like, yeah, dude, that's 100%. I agree with the same thing. Same thing. As soon as I find out what they're eating, where do you get it? And I find out that it's from a factory. That's what I've correlated with a lot of people who don't heal or get the best results they want on a
Yeah.
keto or carnivore diet, is that the source of the food.
Yeah. It's like, you're not going to put the worst, like, gas or petrol, as they call it in England, into your car. You want to put the best petrol in there. You want to get it serviced on a regular
Yeah,
basis. Like, what you put in is what you're going to get. So it's like, it may cost more, but it's like, it's going to make you feel better, and you have more energy to earn more money if you want to, and live life to the fullest and feel the
dude.
best. It's like,
When you put it like that, how much does it make sense? When you say, when you've got the energy, like let's say there's two rumps, one's $10, one's $12, one's not that well, like, and one's really, really premium. I buy the premium for the extra bit. Yeah, I don't have enough as much money, but I got way more energy. I got way more
yeah,
mental stability. I got way more drive to do
yeah,
whatever. What's $2 to that? What's two
yeah.
dollars to that?
Yeah, it's like
Money.
priceless. You cannot put a price tag on that at all. To feel the best and have the best human experience possible, and be able to live a life where you're not just surviving, you're thriving, so you can live a full life rather than a mediocre life where you're just
Yes,
like struggling through life and dragging yourself through because you feel like garbage. It's like,
exactly.
and we have the internet. There's so many things that people can make money from. Just find a way, make it happen. Like Raw
Yeah,
Bliss, like, start
man.
making more money so you can actually eat more, man. Stop messing around and being a Scrooge.
Literally. Listen. You got two people. I don't know if it's mirrored. You got
Yeah.
two. Yeah, you got two people here, man. Like, literally, like, we're Tank, man. Like, literally, look at his chiseled six pack. And oh my god, like, man, I legit want ribs. Like
Yeah.
the rib line, man. Oh, like, yeah, because I want that so bad, man. You look so good, man.
Yo,
Like,
you're
10
just
out
like
of 10.
you're in a, like, you just got like a body at the moment where you're just in a big calorie surplus. So obviously you've been doing like bulking for
Yeah,
sure. So then you can like
definitely.
start doing more fasting and shred down and get the abs more, get the muscles more defined
Exactly,
and visible.
exactly.
Yeah.
But man, shredded.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, and but yeah, raw bliss, man. Get big, then do what you got. Two people with two different styles you can go with, man. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I
yeah,
even said to him, you should come to Thailand. Come be where I'm. I'll train you. I'll tell you how to eat. I'll do it for
dude.
free.
Yeah, legit.
Like,
Well, you like $10,000. Take on one of Danny's like personal training courses, man.
yeah.
Like what's like $1,000 for a couple weeks, man, or a month,
Yeah.
or like whatever it is. What's $1,000 USD to literally have the knowledge that will last you your whole life? What is
Yeah.
it? What is it? And I'm being serious because I was going to charge like $1,000 for like a week to 2 week course, so people could come live with me, and I could teach them about fasting, about health, nutrition, about meditation, and all of these things. And you've got two people in two different ends of the world, one in Thailand, Danny. And honestly, guys, like, this guy is a very amazing person with a well in-lined mind that will honestly be able to help you with this, and myself as well. And I recognize this within the reflection of myself. So people, like, if you're an ex-vegan, literally, like, go with this because he's fresh off the bat. Like, he's fresh off the bat. Meaning, if you're looking for someone like, please help me, I need this, I need that. What is a couple $100? What is it? What's $20? What's $100? What's $1,000 to a lifetime of strength and muscle and crystal clear clarity? Now I can manifest even more.
Yeah, that's really good points that you make. I completely agree with you on that. So yeah, is there any last thing you'd like to mention before we leave? And I would just say one thing quickly.
Yeah.
Like, I'd say people, look into people that getting the results that you want, that are not on a vegan diet, whether it's a ketogenic diet, carnivore diet, or some sort of animal-based diet that makes people thrive. Give it a go. Keep your mind open. Just listen to as many people as possible that are thriving. Reprogram your mind and start to deprogram a lot of this crap that vegans promote, to say that like eating animals destroys the environment and your health, and it's really bad for the animals, when if you're more conscious around it, it's really not whatsoever. Just like, yeah, just learn. Because I found it quite hard at times, that I'd be like, all right, maybe I can move to this country, the best quality food, and then I can thrive on a plant-based diet, this, that. But then I realized, no, we need the animal foods, just like he has realized.
Yeah. Straight up, man. That's so well to say, because yeah, you do move to every country or look for the next best thing in life. And yeah, it's always just within yourself and your area and your home zone. But one thing I would like to say, man, is just thank you for inviting me
You're welcome,
to this. Man. I'm very grateful for this, and I love it that we're able to talk in person this time rather than video chats. Like, you know what I mean? It's been really cool.
Yeah, thank you for coming on, man. And I really appreciate you being open to coming onto this live stream. And yeah, it seems there's a lot of people. Yeah, I've been watching the chat the whole time. And as always, you've got the vegans and the fruitarians and the carnivores going at each other.
Oh man, I don't even know how to check the chat on this thing.
Okay.
Because oh wait, it's live. Oh dude, there's live comments and I didn't even.
Yeah,
I've not been seeing any live comments this whole time.
There's a lot of people there. A lot of people appreciate it. There's Raw Bliss has just been going ape, and people have been responding to him a lot, so it's quite interesting.
Oh really? Hopefully I can. Yeah, hopefully I can read it soon. But well, I'm probably gonna keep fasting because I'm gonna get some Danny gains.
Get shredded.
Get shredded, and I'll let you. Wait.
Yeah, and what I do, people, is when this live stream gets posted, I will put contact details like his Facebook and that, so you can get a hold of Dylan if you need to get a hold of him.
I appreciate that a lot.
On his Facebook, he does post a lot of things, and some things on YouTube showing what he's eating, talking about certain things with his diet and other various things as well that could be helpful to a lot of you. So yeah, thanks very much, man. And I'll speak to you, bro, in a bit. So enjoy the rest of your day, man.
Definitely. See you, Danny, and see you, everyone. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.